I don't even know how to start with this fucking... That pretty much says it all, right?
Yeah.
This movie was horrible.
Yeah, this movie was not good.
What had you heard about this movie?
I had heard actually good things. Not like from people telling me, but like responses on Facebook and stuff saying, "Oh, it was pretty good." Even the people at the theater, like the guys selling tickets, were like, "Yeah, I saw it. It was pretty good."
Well, you have to discount those guys, because what are they going to say? "Oh, don't see this movie. It sucks."
Yeah, that's true. But still, you know. I would just say nothing. If it was bad and I worked in a theater, I would just say nothing.
Yeah, that's true.
You know? That way I'm not lying.
Although I actually have been warned off of a movie but it was an obviously bad movie. I've had the person look up at me and go like, don't do this. But those were like obvious, like Oogie Loves.
Yeah, yeah.
They were like, really? Okay.
What kind of weirdo are you anyway?
Yeah. This is a booze episode.
Yeah, I liked the first one, which makes this surprising to me. Like, it wasn't great, but it was okay. It was pretty good. It was a decent movie. This one was awful.
Oh.
Like, there were points in the theater where we were just going like this.
I wanted to walk.
There were points when he was laughing inappropriately.
This is another one. I wanted to walk.
Yeah, there were points where I was like, this would be a great bathroom break because nothing's happening and it's boring.
I'll tell you where I wanted to walk was when they're
Spoilers, BT dubs.
Oh, fuck it. Fuck it. I wanted to walk when they are they're in their Let's Be Friends mode.
Yeah.
And they're laying out the ground rules.
Oh, yeah.
That fucking cutesy scene where they're like, you have to come up with a not so cute laugh.
Yeah.
And she's like, ha 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 ha.
Not quite that, but he's like, oh no, it's still adorable.
It's like, still ha ha ha, and I'm like, you saw me. Like, I was like,
yeah.
This is the second time if this had like not been our date night, I was seriously considering like getting up and leaving.
Mm-hmm.
And I am not the type to get up and leave from a movie. And
by the way, the theater was pretty much empty.
There was about 10 people total,
maybe,
counting us.
Yeah.
Oreo, come here.
Come on.
Oreo is joining us because she sensed our trauma.
Yeah. Oh, puppy. Silly puppy meats.
I had heard largely good things about this movie. You are wrong! You were so wrong! Oh my god! This movie was horrible! This was the worst movie I've seen this year. The worst! This blows RoboCop out of the water.
I think they're about equal.
RoboCop was fucking terrible. RoboCop pissed me off. RoboCop really... This movie offended me. This movie sucked. This movie sucked. Oh my god. Ah.
Let's get into why it sucked.
No. You know what? No. Because we forgot to talk about the fucking trailers.
Yeah.
No. These...
Well, the only good trailer was the X-Men movie.
Oh, they're gonna fuck it up.
I don't know.
Just like they always fuck it up.
Shut up.
You hated fucking First Class.
I did hate First Class.
So they always fuck it up.
A lot of people like First Class. I'm alone in that party. But the more trailers I see for Days of Future Past, the more excited I get. Honestly.
I'm afraid I've got some bad news. First Class is the only one people liked. You fucking hated it. I don't mean to yell at you.
Yeah, you do.
Okay, First Class is the only one people liked. You hated it. Every X-Men movie goes this way. You see the trailer. Oreo gets a squeaky toy. You see the trailer, and everyone's like, oh my god, a new X-Men movie. Wow, this looks great. Wolverine's in it. I love Wolverine, snicked Bub. It's gonna be awesome. Then they see the movie.
We'll see.
Then they go, well, that sucked.
The trailers for that look better than the trailers for Spider-Man did.
And then they go, well, maybe the next one won't be as bad. And then the trailer comes out, and they go, wow, special effects look way better in this movie. Plus, Hugh Jackman's still in it, so if Wolverine was the only good thing in the last movie, so this one can't be nearly as bad.
Well, if we're lucky, maybe he'll be naked again.
So then you go see the next movie. Oh, I'm sorry. In the trailer, they're like, well, maybe in this movie we'll see Sentinels. Then you go see the movie. It sucks again. By the way, you watch X-Men 2, it does not hold up. And X-Men 2 for the longest time was considered the only good one.
Really? I liked the first one. I liked the first one. I didn't like the second one, and the third one was awful.
I don't know her.
Back on target.
And then the third one comes out. And even that one didn't look good to most people, because then Magneto's like floating a bridge, and they're like, oh my god. And then you got Juggernaut, and then you're like, oh shit. And then First Class came out, and everyone pretty much liked that one, except you. Mostly because that had the guy from Inglourious Bastard, Fassbender, and he's really good in it. But then
I had no objections to the acting. The acting was fine. I just didn't like the way they fucked Canyon up the ass.
I liked how in First Class, the first guy to die is the guy whose mutant power is to not die.
Yeah.
I love that.
Mm.
His power is to not die. He dies. So, the pattern repeats. So we have Days of Future Past, and then everyone's like, oh my god, this one looks awesome. It's got Wolverine in it, and it's got Patrick Stewart. They somehow got his ass back in here, although this time he doesn't look like fucking Mr. Clean, animated Mr. Clean. So there's that. And now everyone's like, there's Sentinels in this one. Yeah, we'll see how long that one lasts. We probably saw all the Sentinel footage there is in that movie in the trailer, because that's pretty much what we saw in X-Men, what was it, 3? When did we see the Sentinels, supposedly, when the fucking head falls down?
I don't even remember seeing
What?
Sentinels.
Yeah, nobody does, because that was in the quote-unquote danger room.
Mm.
Anyway, you're going to be disappointed. I guarantee it. Anyway. Then there's 22 Jump Street.
Ugh.
Fucking kill me!
Oh, that looks bad.
By the way,
like every trailer joke just made me want to punch someone.
Yeah.
Like,
sorry.
they were all obnoxious, stupid jokes.
Whenever you see a trailer for a comedy, you have to remind yourself, these are the jokes they were trying to draw you in with. These are the best jokes they had.
Mm-hmm.
So keep that in mind when you watch 22 Jump Street. Then there's 1,000 Ways to Die in the West. Oh dear Lord!
That looks bad also.
You get to watch Seth MacFarlane act.
It was really predictable too. The whole trailer, I knew exactly what was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Every next scene, I knew what was going to be.
The very first joke. The first fart joke.
Yeah.
Right away, you're like out of ideas.
Yep.
Right, you're like, even I'm sitting there going like, okay, you got Seth MacFarlane sitting outside of like a bar, watching some guys load ice. I guess it's not the first joke. It's still slapstick, but you're like, okay, this block of ice falls on a guy, and you're like, okay, slapstick, fart joke, and you're like, oh my god. 10 seconds into this trailer, we're already like creatively bankrupt.
Yeah.
Fart joke. I'm like, oh Jesus Christ. And from there, it goes downhill.
Mm-hmm.
Because then we're just going to like pop culture references.
Yeah.
From there, we just start having like anachronistic references and people talking in like modern,
completely like not even Western accented language.
Like, you have whores going, oh, no, you didn't.
Yeah.
And, like, stuff that's going to be so dated in, like, 2 years' time. You know. And then the capstone. And you and I, we didn't say it, but we were just waiting. I thought we were going to see, like... You called it. I was like... I was kind of joking. I saw, like, when are we going to see, like, Mad Dog Tannen come around the corner? And you were like, we're going to see Doc Brown with the DeLorean. And sure enough, at the very end...
And then we did.
The very end, you see Doc Brown cover up the DeLorean. You're like, oh, it's some kind of weather experiment. Marty! You know, like... And you're like, seriously, that's the
like,
best...
I shouldn't have been able to call that. That should have been funny, but it wasn't.
But that's the only... That's seriously the only funny joke they had. And the only reason it's funny is because Christopher Lloyd is funny.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not because they reference Back to the Future. It's because thinking of Back to the Future made me smile.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, I could leave the theater and put Back to the Future in the DVD player. God, that sounds fun. And then there's some Tom Cruise movie, which is like... It's like...
It's a...
Groundhog Day Warhammer.
Groundhog Day sci-fi...
It's actually like Inception Groundhog Day.
Inception Groundhog Day, Halo...
Yeah.
Gears of War...
It's intriguing, but it's gonna suck.
I just do not like Tom Cruise at all. I can't stand him. I kind of want to punch his tiny face.
Whatever.
Like, I would actually want to go see the movie if Tom Cruise wasn't in it. In fact, I'll probably watch it, but I'll hate Tom Cruise through it, so I won't enjoy it.
A lot of people have this irrational hatred for the guy.
I despise Tom Cruise.
Okay.
He's just one of those people, kind of like John Travolta. I just want to punch their faces. I don't know why.
John Travolta helped make my career, man. Like, I can't hate the guy too much. I got to be John Travolta. I got to be John Travolta, Christopher Plummer, and like Ricardo Montalban all at the same time.
Were there any other trailers? I don't remember any.
There was that the Dude movie. The movie you said they'd fuck up.
Oh, The Giver.
The Giver.
Yeah. I still don't know, but I think it's going to be hard to do. The trailer was pretty much the same trailer we saw at the last movie.
It was the same.
So, it didn't give me anything new.
Wasn't there a new... They did something that was... It was a completely new trailer for the same movie. It was like all new footage, but for a movie that was... Never mind. It was probably Days of Future Past.
It was Days of Future Past. Yeah, that was all new footage.
Yeah, because we saw a bunch of Sentinels. Okay. Yeah, so then the movie starts. Complete spoilers. Like I give a fuck. Like I give a fuck because this movie sucks. If I save one person from seeing this goddamn movie, my evening will have been worth it. I mean, right away, we start off with the parents Parker, who worked for Oscorp, who are apparently fucking super spies. Or so that, like, Oscorp was developing weapons out of spiders.
Spiders and stuff.
They were developing everything.
Yeah. Everything animal based.
Yeah.
For some reason they have this theme going and they just don't want to break it.
Yeah, like, Norman Osborn had a mad vision. And that thing is like, we need weapons. But no. We don't want missiles. I need a power suit. A power suit? Okay, we can do that. Tony Stark's doing like an Iron Man suit. No, you fool! I don't want a power suit. I want a power suit shaped like a fucking rhino! Why? You're fired! But, sir, like, no, I want a fucking rhino head at the top of that fucking power suit! But the rhino head serves no function, sir. It weighs like 800 pounds, and it completely throws the balance of the suit off.
Yeah.
And, God damn it, someday, somebody in Afghanistan is gonna see a tank and he's gonna want to get down on all fours, and he's gonna charge that fucking tank with the fucking rhino head, and it's gonna look fucking awesome!
But yes, go on.
So Oscorp designs these things, including a power suit that has railguns, fucking missiles, and a rhino head! That's the first one. Which, by the way, we don't see until the last 5 fucking minutes, despite the fact it featured prominently in the entire last half of the fucking trailer!
Yeah, the trailer made it look like that was going to be a big part of the movie. No.
We're led to believe this is a major part of the movie.
I don't even think it was 5 minutes, maybe 3 minutes.
Yeah, I'm being generous.
Yeah.
I shouldn't be. But we're led to believe this is a major part of the movie. Like, he's a primary antagonist, really.
Yeah, that's what the trailers make you think. No.
And I did not spoil myself for this movie.
Yeah, me neither.
Like, we see this scene where he swims fucking not a hubcap, a manhole cover. And I'm like, oh, that's fucking cool. We're going to see him fight the rhino. No.
And in fact, that's the last shot you see. You don't even see him follow through. You never see him hit.
We're like, yeah.
You just have to, like, go home content with the fact that he probably hit him.
Yeah, we're like, yeah, during the credits, there's probably a really awesome fight scene going on. Oh, well.
Yeah.
Here's a commercial for Days of Future Past, I think.
Yeah, that was weird, but we're getting ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, a really boring commercial.
Yeah, it was
that really didn't have anything to do with anything.
No, I don't understand why that was there.
Fuck. So yeah, it's just kind of like, and you don't even see any of the shit that the Oscorp is doing do anything. It's just like, oh, there's like, yeah, if the fans might recognize, there's like vulture wings that we won't use, and then there's like the Dr. Octopus shit that we won't use, and then there's a Scorpion maybe, and I don't know what that shit, whatever.
Animal themes.
But it's animals! Like, that's, apparently Norman Osborn was like big into this shit.
Yeah. Our future lies in the animal kingdom.
But like, she's like, Rhino, the perfect killer. We need to design our powers. The Space Marines of the future.
Yeah.
Gonna be fucking rhinos. Sorry, I'm not getting over that. Anyway, fucking spiders. So like, apparently like, what's his name? Richard Parker?
Yeah.
Dick Parker. He's like, they're. Why does he object to this again? Like, what's his problem? He's like, they're
making basically bioweapons, he says, and he doesn't want to be attached to that.
Well, no shit, they're making. That's the purpose of the company.
Yeah.
There's some reason
the company does a lot of medical stuff, and he thought it was for that, but they're apparently making bioterrorism stuff.
What?
Which, by the way, nobody ever uses, so it's like 20 years later, and no one's used a single bioterror thing.
The world spins on, Dick. Like, get with the program, bro.
Yeah. Like, apparently they were like trying to frame him or something, but like in the beginning of the movie starts with like Peter's parents like trying to escape. You see him on a plane.
Cliched as hell, by the way, this opening scene.
Yeah, and then the like a guy who looks like the pilot comes back, and they get suspicious because they see he's washing blood off his hands, so he's killed the pilot, which I guess. Sure. Which
leads me to question why did the pilot let the guy take off?
I think he was the co-pilot, like a plant, but they didn't say that. I just had to assume.
So why did they take off in the first place? Why didn't he just like immediately kill the pilot before takeoff and then step out and immediately shoot those two?
Yeah.
Because
they probably wanted to make it look like an accident. Like the plane would crash and then they'd be incinerated and there'd be no evidence.
Who cares?
I don't know. I'm just saying.
Like, it's... So what? Like, it's... They've already established that these guys can disappear the fucking lead electrical technician at Oscorp. Like, they do this. Like, the guy falls into a fucking vat of electric eels.
We're getting ahead of ourselves.
But no, this is important, damn it. Like, guy falls into a vat of electric eels, and, like, this happens, like, in the middle of the building. And
Nobody's
they're just
in the building when it happens, though.
the guy. They bring him down there, and they're just like, make him disappear,
Mm-hmm.
and then like they just erase his file, and then nobody notices, and he's gone.
Well, it's because he wasn't important. Nobody cared. That was the point.
So like the head researcher of like special projects, just all of a sudden up and vanishes, and then like nobody asks. They spread this elaborate lie of him selling these secrets,
Mm-hmm.
and so that's somehow less subtle than these two turning up with bullets in their heads in an airplane. Like, whatever. This is so stupid. So these guys get into this huge, prolonged action sequence where this guy gets into like a wrestling match over a gun, and I just don't care.
The mother gets shot, and then it's like all this. Oh, I've got to upload the file to the surf net.
It's hilarious because
firewalls.
Yeah, this entire fight is over them
opening and closing a
laptop.
Oh no, the file's been interrupted. Yoink!
Yeah, so the first part is trying to keep the Ethernet cable plugged into the fucking laptop.
Yeah.
I'm dead serious. They're fighting over a gun and opening the laptop to keep it from going into sleep mode. I'm not even shitting you. That's the fight. Is they're like, no, don't suspend my computer.
Mm-hmm. And then the plane crashes, but they get it uploaded in time, and we don't know anything about why or what it is.
It's over closing a laptop.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is
it was shot to be really dramatic, but it really wasn't.
It's just not good. And so the second shot as after we do the opening scene, this is just a pet peeve of mine, and I admit this is nitpicking, but I really, for some reason, I find it so lame that when we see Spider-Man like swinging through the city and he's doing this woohoo, woohoo, yippee, I just find it so lame. Like you've been doing this for years, man, and you're still swinging around going woohoo, woo.
It's pretty nitpicky.
No, you know what? It's not. Because, I know it's fun.
It never stops being fun. Come on.
I know it's fun. I know, it's still fun being Spider-Man, and I know it's fun, swinging around between buildings and shit like that, because you're a fucking superhero. I get that. But, you're swinging around and shit like that, but you're not still going, woohoo! Woohoo! Really? It just sounds so lame.
Yeah.
It sounds lame! It bugs me. So the first thing he's doing is there's a truck full of radioactive material from Oscorp being hijacked. And this is immediately, I'm just laughing. Because the first thing we see is this fucking Russian guy with barbed wire tattooed across his head. And you hear on the police scanner, there is a truck full of radioactive material hijacked from Oscorp, northbound on 1st Street and whatever.
It's highly explosive.
Yeah, highly explosive and dangerous. If it's destroyed, it could spread a plutonium cloud that will destroy everything.
And yet the guy is driving like a fucking maniac.
Yeah.
Did they not tell him what was in it?
Yeah, and so, but the first shot is him you see this guy going, I am the Knight Rider! I am the Toe Cutter! And it is so cheese.
Yeah.
Right? The guy's...
something I have to point out that I noticed throughout watching this movie is that the Spider-Man cartoon from the 90s was not this cartoonish. This was more cartoonish than an actual cartoon.
Yeah. Because the guy in the driver's seat is just fucking cops! And
yeah.
Nobody acts this way.
Through the whole movie, I kept thinking, people don't act like this. Nobody in this movie acts like a human being.
Ever!
At all.
And so Spider-Man, swings onto the side of the truck, knocks on the window, and he starts wisecracking at the guy.
Yeah.
When he could just, I know this is Spider-Man, and this is what he does, he wisecracks, when he could just, punch the guy in the face and stop the truck.
Mm-hmm.
But no.
He's just sitting there talking to him while he still continues to careen through traffic.
With a radioactive fucking material.
It's like, shut up, Spidey. Just do your job. Make jokes when you're done.
There's terrorists on top of the truck with machine guns shooting at the cops.
Mm-hmm.
But he's like talking shit to the Russian guy.
Mm-hmm.
Punch, stop the truck.
Yeah.
And I say this when this guy is actively plowing through intersections, running over taxis.
Yeah, it plows through a bunch of cars. People had to have gotten hurt.
Yeah. He plows over taxis, hits city buses.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this guy is killing people while he is like, hey, Ruski, what you doing? Like, and I'm like, what the fuck, Spider-Man? Like, what the fuck are you doing? It's so stupid. And so, like, yeah, people are actively dying while this guy is just being an asshole. And he actually gets, like, swatted off the side of the truck while he's doing his dipshit maneuvers here.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And this, by the way, is also while they later establish, like 2 minutes later, establish that he is late for his college graduation.
High school.
Is it high school?
Yeah, that's why...
He looks so old
to
be in high school.
They're not they're like 30 years old and in high school, but yeah.
He looks so old.
That was their high school graduation.
I swear to God, I thought it was college.
No, that's why Gwen Stacy's going to Oxford.
Oh. He could have.
Yeah,
He does not look high school age.
No, he's not 18.
He looks 26.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Just blew your mind.
Like, I knew she was going to Oxford, but I seriously thought she was, like late enrollment.
Mm.
Because in fact, I thought it was, like, she was talking about, like, she's like, oh, I'm up against someone who's, like, 14. And I was like,
graduating.
And graduating. I was like, oh, so you're, like, going late into college and she's going early. I was like, wow. I thought it was a college grad, because she seriously looks like she's graduating from college.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure it's high school.
She looks 24 and he looks like 26.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing, I think he's like 30.
Yeah.
Anyway. So, like, yeah. So, it comes to the point where, like, he plows through an intersection. He literally runs over 2 taxi cabs. One flips over on its roof.
Mm-hmm.
He stops short and, like, 6 police cars run over each other.
Mm-hmm.
Undoubtedly, some cops are grievously injured,
mm-hmm.
more than likely killed.
Mm-hmm.
Spider-Man leaps off and saves what's his name, Jamie Foxx,
mm-hmm.
from getting hit by a cop car. Everyone applauds him.
Yeah. But by the way, there are huge crowds massed around the whole route like it's a fucking parade.
Yeah. Well, that's a major problem. We'll get to that. You are correct. But he saves Jamie Foxx, and it's made to be like this big heroic moment. Like, he saved this one guy. Meanwhile, there are people who have been cut in half by this fucking Oscorp truck, while Spider-Man was jaw-jacking with this fucking Russian guy.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, he is actually, like, leaning out the window shooting cops.
Mm-hmm.
He's literally doing this.
Yeah, they've got automatic weapons. They're shooting.
While he is, like, talking to this, like, Jamie Foxx, going like, "How you doing, bro? You doing okay? Oh, these are blueprints? These are pretty cool. Nice hair, man." Like, he's doing this. Like, he's like trading jokes with this guy. Meanwhile, the Russian motherfucker is leaning out the window with an assault rifle, going like, "You eat lead, pigs!" Ah, ha, ha, ha. Yeah. Cops are getting fucking mowed down, and he's like, "Nice hair, man. I loved you in Miami Vice." Like, and I'm like, Spider-Man, priorities, dude. Like.
Oh, and then the best part when he gets the phone call while he's on like the front of the truck.
Oh, this was one of the best parts of the movie. What, like, disapproving the head shaking, disapproving Denis Leary.
That too.
I love that shit. I love that shit because this made me question whether or not I was crazy because like I was like the first thing is like he's hanging on the front of this police car or some shit like, and he looks over and he sees Denis Leary.
In a car.
Driving
alongside.
And I'm like, isn't Denis Leary dead?
Yeah.
And he is.
He's just, like, seeing guilty recriminations.
Yeah, he's seeing the guilty specter of Denis Leary.
Uh-huh.
But it takes me a minute to realize this.
Yeah, they didn't do it well. It's just like, he's there in a car. Stop licking my hands.
And like, I realize they kind of expect you to see the first movie, and I don't mind that, because, of course, but, like, they needed some kind of little flash.
Like a setup or something, a flashback, yeah. Well, they do, but not until after.
It's not until after the second flash that you kind of see that little thing where he's he's, like, dying in the hospital, and he's like, promise me you'll stay away from her, promise. And I'm like, yeah, okay, so I wasn't crazy. He is dead. And I'm like, but it would have been so awkward to put it in after that first, so I get why they didn't do that, but at the same time, I'm like, why is he just like sitting in the car staring at Spider-Man like... He is, and they hold that shot for like 10 seconds where he's just like...
it's a really long time. And I'm just like, wait a minute.
And then Spider-Man's looking like... And Denis Leary's like... I know you're banging my daughter.
You told me you wouldn't.
I'm gonna get you. And Spider-Man's like, she's hot!
Yeah, what am I supposed to do? Come on.
Come on! He's like... And this happens like 5 times in the movie where like Denis Leary's just like, he's walking around, he's like, I'm Spider-Man! And then he rounds the corner, he's like, ah! And Denis Leary's like...
But then he gets... Be careful. Then he gets a phone call. Which, where did he keep the phone?
Yeah, he's
wearing a skin-tight Lycra suit, and he pulls out a cell phone.
Unstable molecules, April.
But it plays the Spider-Man theme, the old Spider-Man theme.
They hit that, like, 4 times in this movie. The Spider-Man theme on a car horn.
Yeah.
Spider-Man theme on the phone. He whistles the Spider-Man theme when he's beating the shit out of a guy. Shut the fuck up!
But he takes the call while he's being driven through traffic trying to save the world from plutonium explosions.
That bit's been done, by the way.
Of course it has.
I think it's been done in the Sam Raimi thing. Hasn't it? It's been done. I know it's been done. But, like... So
that's gonna fall.
I know. So he goes to his college, high school graduation.
his held back 4 years high school graduation.
Yeah. I swear to God, I thought it was college.
Maybe you're right, but I'm pretty sure it was high school.
It was high school. I was like, why is this college graduation being held outdoors? I didn't catch what... Well, that was the other thing, is I didn't catch what high school it was.
Did they ever say?
No. Because I was like... Well, honestly, it was kind of weird to me because I was like, what high school has a class that small? Because the high school I went to, the class was huge. It was so big, in fact, that they had to split the graduation over 2 days. So, like, I was going, that's a really small high school.
It's a very small public high school in New York City.
Yeah.
Don't you know?
Anyway, that's nitpicking, but anyway, whatever. So, yeah, like, he goes to his fucking high school graduation, and this is immediately what started pissing me off about. He is terrible at keeping his secret identity. Because he goes there and he puts on his robe, but he forgets to take his Spider-Man mask off.
Yeah.
And immediately...
He's got the hat on, but the mask on, too. Like, his graduation cap. It's like, really?
So, yeah, and so people see him. Like, Stan Lee sees him do this. And so, like, this is not, like, an isolated incident. He does this. Like, he's so terrible at maintaining a secret identity. In fact, it gets to the point where it's like he doesn't give a shit. Because he does this constantly throughout the movie. Like, he just uses his powers out in the open.
Yeah.
All the fucking time.
And yet, nobody realizes who he is until the very end when someone sees Spider-Man with Gwen Stacy.
Yeah.
You couldn't have guessed this before by just, his voice being the same as Peter Parker's.
Yeah.
Like, if I heard you with a mask on, I'd know it was you because your voice sounds the same.
Yeah. So, like, when he does that scene where he's skipping the rock, and Harry Osborn is like, holy shit, you threw that rock like 80 yards! And so, like, okay, I'll give that a pass. I shouldn't, but I did. But there's a scene where he's in the Oscorp building, and he just actively throws his web at like a cleaning lady.
Yeah, and like she's just like her head just happens to be turned away, but
And,
there'd be security cameras.
yeah, I was like, what if
all
somebody
over that place?
What if somebody was like looking at a security camera, like, and the thing is, like, Harry was in an elevator. Like, what if the door was open and he saw that?
Yeah.
Like, what if he was like, what if he decided to like look at a security camera and follow Peter to find out where he was going, and he saw that?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he did. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But like, this is a stupid fucking thing to do, Peter. Like, you're like, what if anybody had come around that corner and seen that?
Mm-hmm.
And like, he does this fucking constantly. I think there's like 2 or 3 incidents where he just throws web, like right out. There's a scene where he's like going to meet Gwen, and he just like swings on his web out of costume and hits a wall.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
right in the open. Like, what the fuck are you?
If people could see Spider-Man swinging around all the time, then they're gonna see Peter Parker swinging around just as easily.
It's like, it's somebody who doesn't give a shit.
Mm-hmm. Whatever.
He webs the entire fucking bridge, and then he
Oh.
like grabs he grabs a woman like right off the fucking bridge in one of the most cliched scenes in the cliche. You're gonna notice we use the word cliche all the time because the entire romantic subplot of this is that you know he's all torn up because he promised disapproving Denis Leary that he wouldn't date her, so they break up. But then he's like, oh, this is fucking hilarious. You remember that, where they get back together because she realizes how much he really loves her, and then they get back together, and so, but it comes out that he's been following her.
Yeah. Every day.
And she's like,
Every day.
you've been following me?
She's like, oh, that's so sweet.
Well, no, she's like, you've been following me? How often? And he goes, every day.
Sometimes more.
Sometimes more.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
That's not cute. That is creepy as fuck.
Holy shit, man. You should not have admitted that.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I'd even if I'd be like, I sometimes check in on you. Like, even that's creepy. But like, he goes, every day, sometimes more. I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah, wow.
that's fucking spooky, man.
Yeah, that's some creepy shit.
But she's like,
That's practically some Edward from Twilight watching you sleep.
that's almost as bad. But she's like, oh, Peter. And I'm like,
You do love me after all.
oh, my, holy shit.
That's not love, that's stalking, sweetheart.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
But then it really goes off the deep end in terms of their romance, because then it turns out, you mentioned the Oxford thing.
Mm-hmm.
Then it turns out that she's like, but we can't be together. He goes, why not? He says, because I'm going to England.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have a scholarship to go to Oxford.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why I should have, caught on that it was college. I thought maybe it was grad school. I don't know. Fuck
Maybe.
it.
I don't know.
I was so disinterested in this movie at this point. I was like, I so don't care. But yeah, she's like, I'm going to England, which is one of the most cliched, like, romance plots ever.
Mm-hmm.
Where, like...
And I'm leaving you this message. I'm on
Yeah.
my way to the airport already.
Yeah. I decided to take the job in England.
Yeah.
You know, at the last minute I decided to take the job, but while you were away, I decided to take an earlier flight.
Yeah.
But he's like, so, like, he's all heartbroken, and usually he's all heartbroken, and the best friend is like, you can still catch her.
Yeah, yeah.
You have to go now! And so, like, there's this, really stirring music as he's like, he floors it, and he goes to the airport, and he catches her in the terminal, and that's almost what it's like.
Yeah, that doesn't happen, but it's close.
It's close. He catches her in traffic.
Yeah.
But it is so hammy.
Mm-hmm.
And
like, I would say that, like, ew, yuck, why are you licking me so much?
I love you.
Like, I'd say a good 50 to 60% of this movie was just their awkward love story.
It is so bad.
And the scenes go on forever.
Yeah.
Like, they're all so long. And I'm just like, please end, please. I didn't sign up for a romance. That's not what I'm here for.
It made this movie feel so long.
Mm-hmm. It was long, but it made it feel longer.
Yeah, it's crazy that the scenes where those two are just talking made this movie feel torturously long.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is, because I actually like...
You need to go outside?
Oh, she has to pee, I think.
Potty?
I'll spare you her.
Come on.
These two are not bad actors.
No, you don't? Okay.
I think she's bored, maybe. These two are not bad actors. Bless you. They're not bad, but I don't know if it's I think it's the dialogue that they're given. It's almost
bad dialogue.
It's almost like George Lucasian dialogue.
Yeah, it's stuff that people would never say. Like this is not human dialogue. Nobody talks this way. Nobody acts this way.
But they
George Lucasian.
they don't talk like human beings do.
Mm-mm.
This whole thing where they're like, we're going to establish ground rules. You have to come up with a laugh that's not quite so adorable. You have to stop doing this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, people...
someone is going to explode and there's just kittens are going to fly out. What? Stop it.
Nobody talks this way.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody has conversations this
Twee.
puppy dog and twee, yeah. And I'm like, and they go on forever, and they just keep talking and talking and talking
apparently they
and
thought
talking.
that this was really entertaining, that we really wanted to see them being cutesy together for some reason. We didn't. I didn't want to see that.
And it's just like they could have cut out. They seriously have so many of these conversations.
It could have cut out a good 40 minutes.
It's
of
almost
the movie.
Yeah, it's almost like every other scene they have one of these. It's like first we have like Spider-Man goes to stop the terrorists.
Mm-hmm.
Then he goes to yeah, it almost is like he goes to stop the terrorists.
Every other scene.
Then he goes to the graduation and talks to Gwen.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have Harry Osborn sees his father. Then we have like Peter go see Gwen,
Mm-hmm.
and then he goes to see Aunt May,
Mm-hmm.
and then Harry goes to see the board of directors, and then we have Peter see Gwen, and I'm like, it's like every other scene they talk, and I'm like, it almost is, because then he's like, then Peter goes to see Gwen for dinner that night,
Mm-hmm.
and then they break up, and that takes 20 fucking minutes,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's like, then Harry is trying to find a cure for his genetic disease,
Mm-hmm.
and then Peter is mooning over Gwen and
there's
stalking
a
her.
lot of mooning. So much mooning.
And he's like...
Oh, well, look at... He's got like 50 pictures of her posted on the fucking wall, and...
And then Gwen is mooning over Peter.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, God damn it! It's like, I don't care! Can't you tell I don't care?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I get it! They love each other, and they're star-crossed lovers, and Gwen is going to die.
Yeah.
You know, like, and that's what really kills me about this whole relationship, is like the inevitability of it is like even people who don't follow comics know that Gwen Stacy is going to die.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's almost part of the culture now, is that Superman is from Krypton, Bruce Wayne's parents are dead, Peter Parker's Uncle Ben dies, and Gwen Stacy dies.
Mm-hmm.
There's almost it's just a foregone conclusion. The only thing that would surprise me anymore is that Gwen Stacy lives.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so like, I'm watching this going like, you know, I don't care. She's dead.
Yeah. Well, that and like, how much do you need to establish their love? We get it. Like, it's established. You're done.
And I know that's defeatist, and I know that sounds like it's like, well, why would you watch any movie then where you know the ending? It's like not caring about a Titanic movie because you know the ship's gonna sink. But that's not my point. It's like it's just like it just goes on forever. They have so many scenes together, and they're so goddamn long.
Yeah, and boring.
And they're boring, and they're like they're not human beings. They talk like aliens.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not just them, it's everybody.
Everybody in this movie talks like an alien.
There's a scene later on, and I know I keep skipping all over the place, but there's a scene later on where Harry Osborn and Electro they break back into the Oscorp building because they have to go get some shit inside. And so there's evil lawyer guy and his bodyguard.
Mm-hmm.
So Electro fucking burns a hole the size of a beach ball in the bodyguard's chest. The guy drops over dead, and the lawyer guy's like, "What the fuck?" And so, you know, Electro's standing there in front of him, and Harry's like, "He's pretty cool, huh? Now, you're gonna let me into the special projects office right now." And the evil lawyer guy's like, "How dare you come into my office, you recalcitrant, demanding, overconfident, ah!" And then Electro shocks him in the heart with his lightning bolt, and I'm like, what the fuck?
What were you doing?
What the hell? Nobody talks like that.
And nobody's like, you just saw a man die in front of you. You're not gonna respond with outrage.
Okay, first,
you're gonna wet yourself and do what they say.
Like, you ungrateful, recalcitrant trust fund baby? Like,
yeah.
recalcitrant? Like, I know what that word means, but in times of mortal terror, if I saw my bodyguard get a fucking smoldering crater burned in his chest by a man made of lightning and drop dead in front of me, the word recalcitrant would not exactly spring to mind. This word would. Ah!
I'm going deaf on this side.
I'm sorry. Or these words would. Yes, sir. But, like, this guy would have the biggest, roundest, hairiest balls to be like, "You're going to take me to the special projects office at once. You ungrateful recalcitrant..." What the fuck?
Yeah.
Really? Samuel L. Jackson here much? Like, Nick Fury wouldn't have the balls to say that to a guy made of lightning standing in front of him. Mm-hmm. Not right away. Like, what the fuck, man? Like, nobody would do that. Jesus Christ. Like, no! It's like, I don't know who wrote this piece of dog shit, but, like, this is what I'm talking about. Like, and this isn't just nitpicking. This is like, I don't think anyone in the audience watching this would be like, watch this guy would be like, is anyone this stupid? Mm-hmm. Like, the guy he's made of lightning, and you're like, what are you thinking? Like, why don't you just let him in? Who cares? Mm-hmm. What do you fucking care what he wants? He's gonna fucking kill you. He's gonna make your head explode.
Yeah.
Push a button, let him in. Whatever. You recalcitrant... What are you, Dr. Smith? From Lost in Space? You magnanimous, pusillanimous pigskin? Like, what the... Who the fuck are you, dude? Go get your thesaurus. Fuck off, man. Open the fucking elevator. Pig shit? What the fuck? We're not even past fucking graduation.
Yeah. I don't know, we've kind of...
So, Norman Osborn, who's just been completely swept under the rug in this universe, has some kind of genetic shit.
Making him die.
And he's dying. Mm-hmm. So he's like, Harry, I'm dying, and fuck you, ha 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 ha. But by the way, here's some shit that I got. You might be dying too.
No, you're definitely dying too.
Yeah, you're definitely dying. Psych. No, you're dying seriously.
Well, Harry's like, you didn't love me.
He's like, oh well, yeah. Here's some genetic shit. The research I got. You're welcome. Ugh.
Yeah.
But apparently, this is another thing that really bothered me about this. In fact, I'll just leave that off because everything really bothered me from now on. But so Harry is also dying of this weird genetic shit that's killing the entire Osborn family. Mm-hmm. But apparently, this shit is killing him way faster.
Yeah, I mean, his dad lived to be what, like 60?
60 or something like that.
Yeah, but he's like the same age as Peter, and he's suddenly dying.
So Peter is like 18. Mm-hmm. I'm guessing because he's graduating high school.
Yeah.
Whatever. So, but yeah, like as soon as he's told about this disease that he supposedly got, his skin is sloughing off in like 2-pound chunks.
Yeah.
He's like, Peter, I'm dying. You need to get Spider-Man for me.
Suddenly got like the dark circles under his eyes.
He's seriously got like lesions forming on his skin. Mm-hmm. Like, it's seriously like he needs like a blood transfusion within the next 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. He, like, when he breaks into Oscorp, he looks like a fucking heroin junkie.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck happened to you, man? It's like they seriously needed like what? Like seriously, your dad lived to like old age.
Yeah, and it shows him in like the videos with Richard Parker, still reasonably healthy looking.
He looked like 40 years old.
Yeah.
If not higher. Like he looked good. And I'm like, so like Harry is seriously, let's just say 20.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, have your hands started to shake? He's like, And I'm like, okay, well, you still got some time left. No, within a week.
Immediately he starts dissolving.
Within a week, his fucking face is melting. And I'm like, what the fuck?
That's the fastest ever.
And it's like, I get the fact that like he needed to add some kind of level of desperation, but all he needed to do is add like a line of dialogue where he like goes to see a doctor, and the doctor like takes a blood sample and he's like, oh shit. He's like, what is it bad? And he goes like, yeah, it's bad. You have the disease, but it's progressing at a rate I've never seen before.
Yeah,
like,
that would have worked way better.
He's like, what the fuck do you mean? He's like, how long do I have? He's got like
2 weeks.
10 months?
Yeah.
At most? It's like, what do you mean 10 months? My dad lived to be like 65. He's like, I don't know what to tell you. He's like, but if that shit, you better hope that microchip your dad gave you has a miracle on it. Like, something like that.
Yeah.
But like, seriously, like, he walks out of there, like, at the age of 20, and all of a sudden, it's like, he's dying, like, immediately. And maybe there was a scene like that, but it needed to be put back in, because it's weird. Because, like, immediately he's like, I need Spider-Man, I need his blood.
Where he comes to this conclusion, I'm not even sure.
Well, it's like, he sees a video of his dad, and he's like, this spider that we've developed, you know,
is self-healing.
Is self-healing, and it has strength, and when we're ready for human testing, we can develop super soldiers.
Yeah, but he doesn't even, like, the thing is, he's got this microchip thing. He doesn't even fucking look at it. He drops it by accident on a table.
And he discovers his table is magic.
Yeah.
He's like, holy shit!
And then later on, like, you see that he didn't even really go through it.
No!
Like, because later on he finds he accesses all the stuff with Electro and things like that. It's like, did you not read it? Did you not go through anything? Did you just, like, go through the first 2 files and go, meh, I'm done.
Yeah.
Let's see what's on Tumblr.
He looked at the first file, and he's like, oh, spiders! Shit!
I gotta go get Spider-Man's blood and pull a Keith Richards.
Yeah, he's like, spiders heal? I gotta get Spider-Man, and he stopped looking.
Yeah.
Like, exactly. So he's like, oh, shit. But yeah, like, who knows? Like, maybe in the Special Projects Lab, of which he has every fucking file, like, maybe in the Rhino suit, there was, like, some healing shit. I doubt it.
Well, there's healing shit in the Hobgoblin suit.
In the Green Goblin suit.
Green Goblin suit.
It had healing shit.
Yeah. Like, if he had just gotten in that right away, maybe he would have been fine.
Because he gets in the Goblin suit, and it's like...
It keeps him alive.
Grievous injuries detected. Now, maybe it had a healing factor. I don't know.
Apparently it did, because it made him better-ish.
Maybe it did cure him. We don't know.
Yeah. Well, like, at the end, he seems pretty okay.
He seemed okay.
Yeah.
Seriously, we don't know if it was the spider shit that cured him or the Green Goblin suit.
Yeah.
It might have been the suit.
I think it was the suit, because the spider venom very obviously didn't react well.
The spider venom
has human DNA in it, but it's
the
Richard
Parker's.
Parker's. So that's the only reason Peter Parker responded to it well and didn't get all gross and dead.
You know, honestly, the spider venom probably fucked him up. Yeah. And the only thing that saved him, the only thing that might have cured his plague is the Green Goblin suit.
Which he should, if he had just
just flicked through the shit.
Yeah. Put that on in the first place, he'd be fucking fine.
If he'd have just climbed in the suit.
But why didn't his dad climb in the suit?
Yeah, well, I don't know.
Well, I don't want to test it. It's just too hard.
That's an interesting question. Like,
why didn't his dad know about it? It was ready to go. It was all like, even there was fuel in the hoverboard ready to go.
Why didn't the venom. Like, if the venom was supposedly like good shit, like, why didn't his dad just use it?
Because I think that...
Or did he not think of it?
I don't know if he didn't think of it or if the tests didn't work.
They didn't do any human testing.
They didn't do human testing.
They established that.
Yeah.
I guess he just didn't think of it.
Maybe.
Maybe. I don't know. It's stupid.
But the suit, it was ready to go. Nobody had put it on.
Yeah.
They didn't even, like, try and, like, stuff a mouse in there to see if it got better.
This supposedly evil company that was in the business of marketing weapons and bioweapons that had developed this fully functional, military-grade, this thing works. I saw no flaws in it.
Yeah, it's not like, there's not even a stutter in the fucking board. Like,
no.
It works perfectly, like, someone had to have tested that. Otherwise, how would you know how to balance it for human weight?
This thing had worked and had been mothballed.
Yeah. It's just been sitting in the basement.
For about 20 years. It had just been sitting there. Nobody sold it.
Like, and if you were that desperate, I would say, you know, get yourself a hobo, stick him in the suit, see if he gets better.
In fact, the entire...
They are totally okay with murdering 2 prominent scientists, but they don't want to do any human testing, because that would be wrong.
Yeah. Well, I don't know why they never bothered engaging in human testing. Why didn't they?
I don't know. It never says, because it's like, oh, can't the press.
Can't the press?
Yeah.
That's probably why.
Yeah.
Can't the press.
But you can kill some people and then defame them, but you can't try out a biosuit on somebody.
That's probably literally the reason. Can't the press.
Yeah.
But like they've got all these super weapons that work. They've got Dr. Octopus shit. They've got the Rhino. They've got the Vulture. They've got the Scorpion, I think. And it all works, I assume. And it's just sitting there. Why didn't they sell it?
Yeah.
Why didn't they patent it?
Yeah.
It's just sitting there. They've got the spider venom.
Yeah.
Sell it.
Like, I could see not selling the spider venom, but the suits, why wouldn't you?
In fact, don't they have the fucking... I guess they destroyed the silk, but, like... The silk got destroyed somehow, but, like, the spider silk. But, like, they got all this shit. Like, fuck it. But, yeah, it's all this...
It makes no sense.
None of it makes any sense, but, like... where were we? Oh, I don't remember. The disease.
The disease, yes. Which is rapidly advancing.
Rapidly advancing. So, like, yeah, the fucking shit. Peter and Gwen break up, which takes forever. That's pretty much half the movie.
Yeah.
Right?
Half the movie is...
watching them fucking cry.
It's like a fucking episode of Dawson's Creek or something.
And then there's the music.
The music was terrible.
Oh, the music sucks.
Oh, God, it was bad.
Because then fucking Parker spends half the movie crying because he misses Gwen so fucking much. He's like, Gwen, I miss you, Gwen. I'm going to listen
My parents left me.
I'm going to listen to my iPod and my shitty playlist. And my parents left me too!
Uncle Ben.
Oh, Uncle Ben. All my parents left me was a shitty messenger bag.
Which I've never really bothered to go through.
I've never looked through it. What the fuck is this graphic calculator? It doesn't even work!
Texas Instruments, damn you!
TI-82. Fuck you! The music's seriously shitty.
Yeah,
and so
it's annoyingly bad.
Oh fuck! I gotta talk about Jamie Foxx.
He's a nerd.
He's a nerd. Did you know that?
Because nerds always wear glasses.
Nerds wear glasses.
And they have pocket protection.
And they have dumb hair.
And they carry a lot of stuff and they drop it.
And they have schematics. And they are clumsy.
And they talk to themselves.
And
because nobody likes them.
And they're nerds. And they have glasses. And they have schematics. And they're poorly organized.
Like, they were just short of... And actually, no, I think they basically did have other people, like, dump his books.
Yeah, yeah.
Did we really... He's such a nerd that people dump his books and don't even fucking care.
Like, there's, like, jocks who push him around.
Yeah.
Like, as close as to a jock as you can get in the...
Science Corporation.
In science. Like, he goes to work, and there's O'Doyle in work.
His middle management bullies him around.
He's like, "How you doing, nerdlinger?" And he's like, I'm fine, Mr. O'Doyle. How are you? And he's like, "I'm good, good." why are you late? Is the nerd bus breakdown? And he's like, no, actually, there was a traffic accident and Spider-Man saved my life. And he's like, Spider-Man, what a dork. He's like, Spider-Man is a hero, and I'll have you know that I'm his best friend. He's like, gay, and he walks out. Like, really? No, it's like, he's like, what are you gay?
Which again, no human would act like this.
Yeah, and this guy.
Like, maybe like if he was a real asshole and the character was like a janitor, but he's like the guy who works like the entire city's power structure.
Yeah, they established that he has developed at least, I can't remember if he says this, but he literally has designed the entire power grid for the Oscorp building, if not the entire city. Mm-hmm. Is it the city?
It might be. I know he designed at least that one area.
The building, at least. But I've got a real problem with this in movies. But this movie I was hoping would be better. But like, whenever there's a super villain nerd, they always do this. Where he's a nerd because he has glasses and he has schematics. And they always introduce him this way. They do this in Iron Man 3. Where he's got like an armful of shit. Schematics. And he's got glasses. And he's got stupid hair. And it's always frazzled. You know? And he bumps into people. He's got stupid teeth. And he's like, he's all awkward, and he's like, Mr. Stark, I'm Joseph Nerdlinger, and I'm in R&D, and I've got these designs that you oh, I'm sorry, I spilled my snot on you, and like, oh shit, my schematics, you know, like, and they always do this, like, and you know, and he like, if there's a girl with him, he fucking like puts his fist down her cleavage or something like that by accident. He's like, I'm sorry, I fisted your girlfriend. Oh, my glasses. Oh, shit. You know, like,
It's true, and it's annoying.
So, like, in the, you know, Batman and Robin, where you had Pamela Isley, who was super nerdlinger, and then you had Iron Man 3, where you had Guy Pearce, and in this one, you always have the guy with the fucking armload of shit, drops him, and oh my god, I'm sorry.
My pocket protector.
I broke my
asthma.
You know, the same fucking shit. I get it. He's a nerd. And so, like, you know, Spider-Man is actually rather nice to this guy. It's just like, Spider-Man loves me.
We're best friends.
We're bestest friends.
So he starts, like, he fucking snaps. And
he falls in love with this guy.
Yeah. He's got Spider-Man pictures pasted every inch of his walls.
He builds a stalker wall.
And then he buys himself a birthday cake that he says is from Spider-Man, and he starts having, like, out loud conversations with, like, his imaginary head Spider-Man.
They didn't go far enough with it. He needed to build a doll.
Spider-Man doll.
He needed to make a body pillow.
Ew.
If you're gonna go that far with it, you need to go the full 9. He needed to give the Spider-Man doll a full 9. Oh yeah. This guy, and I'm watching this going like this has gone Batman and Robin. Because this is like they did what they did with Uma Thurman. Is like, this is so cartoony.
Like I said.
This is just bizarre.
Yeah.
Because this guy starts off insane. He's fucking like having conversations with himself, like, out loud. Like, nobody acts this way. Like,
well,
nobody.
The insane.
No, come on. Like, nobody would hire this guy.
Yeah, you'd think that they would, like, a big corporation like Oscorp would. But I guess maybe it was a slow slide. But still, at the same time,
if
they make him do stuff that's not in his job description.
If a guy was this gibbering insane, you would notice.
But again, like, nobody would act that way. Nobody would act the way they act towards him. Like, the whole building gets the day off for Norman Osborn's death.
Right.
And then his middle manager is like, I'm going to need you to stay behind and go fix that thing in the dangerous room full of electric stuff.
Oh, we'll get to that, too. Oh, I love...
By yourself.
Yeah, but this guy, he talks to himself like it's a fucking cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
Just loud, dramatic, sweeping soliloquies like Spider-Man is in the room with him.
Mm-hmm.
This is like a completely different movie. This is radically different. This is like Batman and Robin.
Mm-hmm.
It's seriously, if Arnold Schwarzenegger had rocked out from there in the Mr. Freeze costume, like not even kidding,
it wouldn't have been very surprising.
this would have been right
Plus,
in
like,
keeping
what
with
is it with, like, the second you become a superpowered supervillain, you immediately start making really bad quip jokes, references to your powers.
Yeah, he's like, it's my birthday, I'm gonna light my candles. Like,
yeah.
Oh my God.
Which is, again, Batman and Robin, cool.
And if you're gonna, he couldn't even come up with good puns.
No,
either.
none of them were good.
He couldn't have been like, he's like, oh look, it's the police. I'd like to file a few charges.
Yeah, exactly. That would have been funny.
How about assault and battery? Or like,
they were half-hearted at best.
or like, you're gonna pay for this, Spider-Man. Cash or charge? Come on! See, I didn't go with like shocking, isn't it? Like, see, I put some thought into these.
You did.
I put love into my Electro puns. By the way, he just comes up with that. Like, he just goes like, "You will all fear the name, Electro."
Yeah.
And I'm like,
oh,
you just decided to call yourself Electro? Like,
it just came out of nowhere.
he just like, I thought it sounded cool.
Like 5 minutes ago, you were a shambling zombie, and now suddenly you've got a supervillain name.
Like, I know it's hard to kind of make those names organic.
Mm-hmm.
Like, especially in the Fantastic Four movie, like, they had to find a way to make the name Mr. Fantastic kind of, like, organically come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
You know, like, that's really hard sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, he just kind of goes, like, I'm Electro, and I'm like...
Like, it would have been, like, way better if he was, like, funny and, like, he already called himself that because he was the Electro Man, you know? Like, that would have been good. He would have been like, I'm Electro, because he's always been Electro, but no.
Yeah, well, I would have liked... I think it would have been better if Spider-Man just was, like, making fun of him. Like, he was like, hey, Electro! Like, cause he calls him...
Or, yeah, that would work, too.
Like, if he was just calling him
he calls
stupid...
him Sparkle or something.
If he just kind of kept calling him electric names, like, you know, hey Sparkles, you know, something like, and he just kind of sells on Electro.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, yeah. So Jamie Foxx. Okay, so he gets bullied on his birthday to stay and fix the extraordinarily dangerous power situation in the building, which will burn the building down apparently if nobody else fixes it.
Yeah. But everyone else is going home.
We're all going home!
Like, they don't get a work crew on this. They don't call the fire department. They're just like, yeah, get that one guy. He's got nothing going on.
So, yeah, they leave him alone to go fix this. And you can immediately see where this is going. I'm amazed he didn't see where this is going.
Oh, but it gets better. What powers the entire Oscorp building?
See, this is another thing where we were confused.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know if what I'm about to say is true.
Yeah, that's true, because we were confused.
He goes into this building, which we're guessing is the power source for... It's like the Starship Enterprise.
Yeah.
It's like
they're talking about how the building is, like, off the grid and green and totally self-sufficient.
So, yeah, it's like... It's got like a warp core, but it's like the reactor room for the building.
Mm-hmm.
But in this room, there are several tanks, like aquaria.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Of electric eels.
Mm-hmm.
Gigantic ones.
Yep.
Dozens of them.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they never say this.
You see them in there making little zappies.
Zaps.
Like,
which, by the way, electric eels do not do.
No, they do not.
Now, they never say this, or at least I wasn't paying attention if they did. But I do not know if those are what are power the building.
If they're not, I don't know why they're there. Like,
correct.
Who the fuck puts the fish tank in the room full of, you know... I think that's really what they were doing. I think that they were claiming that their building ran on electric eels.
On the other hand, we have established that Norman Osborn just puts random fucking animals in the middle of the buildings for no goddamn reason. So, I don't know.
He was quite the animal lover.
But I will assume, for now, that somehow the building is being run with giant tanks of huge electric eels that have cables attached to them.
Mm-hmm. And then, of course, there's all the stuff you've got to climb to get to. Like, there's no axe. It's not like there's like a panel right by there. You have to climb up a ladder.
See, Tony Stark built the arc reactor.
Mm-hmm.
Tony Stark built this in a cave with a box of scraps.
A box of eels.
But Norman Osborn had a fucking jar of eels. And he fucking stuck a wire in it.
Yeah.
And that building did glow! He fucking eels! Who needs fucking palladium?
I mean, if it worked for Blanca and Street Fighter, they taught him their secrets. Maybe they taught Osborn their secrets.
Norman Osborn made Blanca. Jesus fucking Christ, this movie. So yeah.
So he goes to fix the stuff all on his own.
So yeah,
Can I have a drink of your soda?
Yes, you can.
Thank you.
He radios in because he's like, Central? Yeah, there's a severed fucking live wire here. Could you turn the power off, please?
And they're like, nope, I'm out the door.
He's like, negative, Jamie, negative. Breaking Bad is on over. And he's like, okay, thanks. I took my stapler.
I'll do it myself.
He's like, I'll do it. And he grabs the live wire
while balancing on a narrow walkway over the eel tanks.
Oh,
this is where they put it. A narrow walkway over the eel tanks.
And
because that's the best place you could possibly put your access
and it's like,
tunnel.
Yeah, it's like, you know and I know and everyone knows and the blind know where this is going. So much so, I was like, this scene didn't even need to be in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, it's like he could have just gone in the room and walked out as Electro.
Yeah. And then they give you, like, the bullshit fake out where he connects it and he's like, I'm fine! And then he gets executed and I'm like, fuck you!
But I'm like, no, I'm not even... Because, like, it's such a formality.
Mm-hmm.
He literally could have just walked in and walked out as Electro and I'd been like, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
It honestly would have saved his time.
Yeah. And then... But of course, he gets electrocuted, and then he falls into the electric eel tank and gets
uncovered.
Electrocuted. It's uncovered.
The electric eel tank full of eels that can power the fucking building.
You think they'd cover it just so that, like, rust wouldn't fall in there, that they'd eat and get sick.
With mesh. Cover it with mesh. Or a net.
Something.
Or something. Like, no. You can just fucking slip and fall in. Do you think fucking OSHA would
be like, oh, you gotta cover these giant eel tanks.
No.
No, the eels need to breathe.
No. Fuck you fucking... Then this doesn't kill you, this gives you powers, because it's Marvel.
Yeah, no.
You fall in there, but they pull him out. I love this, by the way. They pull him out of there, and he's not just a dead body. He's fucking charred.
Yeah,
he's like a burnt matchstick.
He looks like a burnt marshmallow.
It's because that's what happens when you're electrocuted. Is you get pulled out of there and you're like a burnt matchstick. That's what happens when you're electrocuted, babe. Is you become like a...
You become like one of those ash things from Pompeii, the people shape.
Yeah. You're not just dead. You're like burnt popcorn.
Yeah.
Because that's real.
You're the marshmallow that
people wouldn't
stuck to the log in the fire.
Viewers wouldn't understand that he had been electrocuted to death if you
He's
just
electrocuted a lot.
If you just saw a dead body, they wouldn't get it.
Oh yeah.
They'd be like, "Well, what happened? He fell into an electric eel tank, but he looks fine." Like, oh no, he's been
extra tasty crispified.
He's been fried. Oh, he's been fried.
Now I get it.
Now I understand because we're stupid.
Mm-hmm.
So he gets up. He's fucking Electro.
Yeah, like no one in the morgue. Like he's just.
There's no one there.
He's Ash. Why is he sitting in the morgue? Why did they put a sheet over him? If he was Ash, they would have like scooped him up and put him in a fucking coffee can. Okay. But no, they put a sheet over him and leave him there. Like, we'll just get to this later. He's not going anywhere.
This movie sucks.
Yes, it does. But then he gets up and, like, it's like an ash, like, charred coating. And
I just remember
he knocks his breading off, and then and then he's electrocuted. Underneath, I'm moist and juicy.
He's been salt crusted.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he goes to fucking Times Square.
Stumbles out.
This is the point where the movie completely lost me. Right here. He goes to Times Square.
Which apparently
is walking
morgue
distance.
is walking distance from.
He goes to Times Square because he can see the flow of electricity.
Of course.
So he goes there.
It doesn't affect his clothes, though. His clothes don't burn off, despite the fact that he's, like, turning on car alarms with his mere presence.
So he goes there, and he starts humping power cables. And the cops have a problem with this.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's
nobody else around him notices, though.
No.
There's people just standing on the grate while he's going like this.
It's New York.
And they're just like, eh.
It's New York.
Yeah.
So like, he starts humping power cables. And the cops are like, fucking stop that! And he starts throwing lightning around. Meanwhile, this is the scene where Peter and Gwen are having that fucking scene this isn't narrowed down. That fucking interminable scene where they're talking about, like, let's be friends. You stop being cute. You stop being cute. You stop it. You hang up. You.
BT Dubs, I've been watching you.
Yeah, that was it. I've been watching.
I know what restaurants you like.
He does. He knows what restaurants she likes now.
Even though they haven't seen each other in a month because he's been watching her. So creepy.
So he hears what's going on in Times Square. He goes there.
Mm-hmm.
So they start having their fight. He tries to talk him down, doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
They start having their fight. He starts throwing lightning bolts, starts knocking signs down, and signs start falling down into the crowd.
Yeah, like the sign, you've seen pictures of Times Square, undoubtedly.
It's
There's
big.
Huge, giant screens and everything.
This is something that drove me. As soon as I noticed it, this happened through the entire movie.
Mm-hmm.
Constantly. I was screaming about all but screaming about it in the theater. Okay, so signs and debris from the buildings are falling.
Lightning's getting shot all over the fucking place.
Lightning.
Bullets are flying through the goddamn air.
Yeah. So the entire time, more than fighting Electro, Spider-Man is throwing webbing around, pulling people out of the way of debris, stopping debris, falling, punching debris out of the way. He spends so much time doing this. Meanwhile, he's doing all this heroic shit, being this huge hero, being great. Meanwhile, people are gathered around Times Square behind police barricades doing this. Yay! Yay! Mm-hmm. Spider-Man! Spider-Man! Yeah. Spider-Man! And I'm like,
literally within, like, arm's reach.
Yeah, within 30 yards.
Super villains.
30 yards. Within this supervillain punch-up.
Yeah. You'd think that, again, after seeing what happened to the Avengers, they would not want to be in the middle of this, but of course they're probably not connected, but you know what I mean. They've seen this shit before.
And I reiterate, there are literally buildings exploding. Mm-hmm. There are cars. No, fuck that. There are fire trucks being thrown. Mm-hmm. There are, like, the JVC sign, like the fucking television, that big fucking screen, and that does, like, the giganticest screen in Times Square has just been thrown at Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. And, like, Spider-Man has just, like, stopped it from hitting this big crowd.
And he gets tossed through a building.
And so, like, meanwhile, there's a crowd, like, 30 yards away from Electro going,
Yeah.
woo! And I'm like, are you out of your goddamn minds?
Yeah, why? Like, eventually they do run, but not until, like, actual, like, whole chunks of buildings start coming down.
They only start running when the building is directly falling on them.
Yeah. You'd think that you'd see something going down. Like, if I saw, like, just a knife fight in the street, I'd run away.
You would be gone.
I wouldn't stand there and watch superheroes fight each other.
There is ball lightning being thrown.
Yeah.
Things
are exploding. People are getting tossed like rag dolls. And you idiots are standing here going, yay!
These people have their phones out, and I'm like, are you fucking crazy?
Yeah.
And this happens in every single fight.
Yeah.
Like every one. Like and especially even at the one where like Rhino is cruising down the street, fucking jackhammering cars with like machine guns and missiles. He is launching missiles at the police. And at every intersection, there is a mob of people.
Like a parade. Like they're they're lighting the streets like it's a fucking parade.
It's almost like the producers of the movie were like blocking off the street and just didn't mind if
people just came in. And, yeah.
If like they were like, okay, people, we're shooting Spider-Man 2 here. If you don't like to watch, just line up and act frightened.
Yeah.
And then like.
Again, like it's like the width of a street, and Rhino's running down it. You're on the sides. Missiles are flying out.
Cars,
bullets.
Cops are getting shot, and like the police are going Spider-Man, and I'm like, it's fucking get the fuck out of here!
Yeah.
Like, watch it on
call in the helicopters at this point.
Watch it on the fucking news, man. Like, I also another thing, minor. By the way, I like how they've backpedaled and made Peter a photographer now.
Oh, yeah.
He showed no interest in photography in the first movie.
He showed a little. He carried a camera around, but he wasn't a photographer.
But now
he's... they reference J. Jonah Jameson. We never see him now.
But this is a pivotal plot point now, that he's sending photos into the Daily Bugle, which are now getting front-paged.
Yeah.
Because this is critical, because Harry Osborn sees them, and that's the only reason he's talking to Peter, is because he wants him to find Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So they've had to backtrack the entire first movie to have him like be a photographer again.
Yeah.
Because I don't think they ever. But
they kind of blitzed past it.
They
did anything
he's
at
like
all.
He's like, I have an interest in photography, but like. He doesn't pursue this as a
see
job.
Him, like, really take a picture of anything.
He never takes a picture of shit.
Yeah.
But like, now in this one, they mention like at the very beginning of the movie, he's like, Aunt May goes, it's like, do you have a job yet or something like that? He's like, well,
I sold some pictures to the Bugle.
He's like, I sold some
That'll
pictures.
Help.
He's like, is that Jameson giving you a fair wage? He's like, kind of, and like, but that's it. Like at the beginning of the movie. So yeah, but the whole most of the plot hinges on the fact that he's a photographer, which is something we have not established.
And again, we still never see him do a whole lot of.
Yeah.
Well, no, in the first one he did. I remember it because when he was going down to fight the lizard in the sewer, he sets up cameras.
Oh.
I remember that now.
But he doesn't do that for the Bugle, does he? Do that?
I don't know why he does it. I can't
Why
remember.
Does he do that?
I don't remember. I guess that movie wasn't that great.
He doesn't do it for the... I know he doesn't do it for the paper.
I don't know.
He doesn't do it for the paper.
No, he doesn't.
Because he doesn't have a job for the paper, and he doesn't...
No, he's still in high school then.
No. He doesn't do it for the fucking school paper, I know that. But, yeah. In this one, he freelances photos in for the Daily Bugle.
Yeah, he sends them via email, and then J. Jonah Jameson...
Which you never see.
Who you never see, sends him emails back. He's like, hey, maybe this Spider-Man guy isn't so bad, and all that he gets back is an email with a header that just says, wrong!
So, yeah. But, yeah, the thing is, like, Harry is like, he needs Spider-Man's blood, or he thinks he needs Spider-Man's blood, because he thinks it'll help cure his genetic shit.
Yeah.
So it's like, but the only reason he thinks Peter knows Spider-Man is because Peter's taken pictures of Spider-Man, which is something we have not established until now.
Yeah.
Because this movie is a piece of shit. So, this is another problem I have with it.
Like, I would have been fine if they, like, even in the cartoon, they would show him, like, webbing a camera up to a building so that it would take pictures when he went by, and he could be like, yeah, I got a picture. In this, they never show that.
Well, pardon me. But the thing is, the reason they don't do that is because they never established he had a job at the Bugle. Mm-hmm. So there's no reason for them to establish the fact that he's a photographer. Mm-hmm. So without the Bugle, there's no need for the photography thing until now. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, I don't see the reason for Harry to turn to Peter when he could just do something to like. He could just find a way to send a message to Spider-Man.
Yeah, he could get on the news. He's
he
multi-billionaire owner of Oscorp. He could put out an ad in the paper.
Buy a page in the Bugle. Uh-huh. Like, say, like, Spider-Man, I want to talk to you. Like, here at this time. Bam. Yeah. Call this number, Spider-Man.
Yeah.
You know, like, something like that. But instead, they have this really melodramatic scene where he's like, Peter, I know you know Spider-Man.
Because you took a picture of him.
Because you took a picture of him jumping off a fucking building.
With a long-distance telephoto lens.
And he's like, I don't know Spider-Man. Don't lie to me! And I'm like, maybe he doesn't know Spider-Man. Yeah. Like, he does know Spider-Man, but you don't know that. Like,
you have to know Spider-Man. You took his picture.
And so Peter, like, he's such a bad liar. Mm-hmm. He's like, I'll go ask. And I'm like, you are so bad at this. He's like, well, I don't know Spider-Man, who I'm not. And I'm like,
I am totes not Spider-Man.
Yeah, he's like, do you know Spider-Man? And he's like, I'm not. No. No, Harry.
Why would I know?
Why would I be not
Spider person?
No, not Spider. He's a myth. I don't take pictures of myth. I mean, I took a picture one time of the. No.
It was from very far away.
I had a telescope lens. The lens.
I was on the moon.
I faked it. Photoshop. It was a big photo. I downloaded it. Google Images. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, whoa, dude, this is so badly written. Anyway. Mm-hmm. So he finally he finally goes to see Harry as Spider-Man.
As Spider-Man.
This was something that drove you up the wall too. And he goes to see him, and he talks to Harry in his normal voice.
You know what Peter Parker sounds like.
And this, by the way, after he just had a conversation with Peter. Mm-hmm. And he's like, hi Harry, I'm Spider-Man. And I'd be like, hey Peter, what's up? And I'm like,
Like if you heard him without seeing him, you would think Peter.
And this is like the best defense for the Christian Bale Bat voice
I've ever heard. Thinking, yeah.
I'd be like
at least the Bat voice, he's disguising it, so he doesn't sound like that in normal life.
In fact, that would have been a funny joke to have in the movie. Would be like if Peter actually tried to put on the Bat voice.
He just sounded stupid.
Harry, I'm Spider-Man. I'm Spider-Man. What are you doing? I'm Spider-Man. What? You sound weird. I'm so weird. You're so weird. That's not your voice. Yes, it is. I was bitten by a spider.
Yeah, but yeah, it's so obvious. Like there's no mistaking that it's Peter because it's his voice.
He's like, I need your blood, Spider-Man.
Like I was saying, if he put on a mask, I would still know it was him because I'd hear his voice.
You'd be like,
I'd be like, Noah, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, you'd be like, Spider-Man, I need your blood. I'd be like, I can't give it to you, April. You'd be like, how do you know my name? Lady I've never met. No, is that you? No. No.
I tell you, it is not.
I'm not that whoever you were talking about. I mean, no. I'm not Spoony. So he's like, Spider-Man, I need your blood, Spider-Man, because I'm dying.
And Spider-Man's like,
no, I could kill you.
Something bad could happen. He doesn't say what. He's just like, something bad. He's like, you could die. And he's like, I'm already dying. I can't get more dead. And he's like, something worse could happen.
See, but yeah.
But he never says what.
Yeah.
So why would anyone believe you?
Yeah, so I'm like, the way I would have ended the scene has been like, he's like, I can't give it to you, Harry. You could die. He's like, how? I couldn't get more dead. I'm dying. And I'd be like, good point. And like, again.
Yeah. Like, here's the problem I have with this. Why didn't he just do it?
Yeah.
If he died, oh well, he tried.
Yeah.
If he turned into a monster, then you defeat the monster.
Yeah. So, yeah, and, like, so Harry's like, he's like,
You haven't
you're not...
seen the guy in 8 years, you obviously can't care about him that much.
So, yeah, so, like, it's, Harry's like, you're not protecting me, you're protecting yourself, you're selfish. And I'm like, yeah. He kind of is. I'm like, give him some blood. Like,
yeah. Actually, this whole movie is just like Peter Parker is a selfish dickhole.
I
like, should stay away from Gwen Stacy, but I just love her too much.
I'm like, you know what? Just load him up here, man. Like,
yeah.
I really don't want to take Harry's side here, but
just give him some goddamn blood.
Hook him up, man.
If it doesn't work, then he sees it doesn't work. If he turns into a fucking monster, then you get a can of Raid.
He turns into a roach. Like, you know, really...
And this is before Peter Parker knows that the genetic material is from his dad. So that it basically only works on him.
Yeah.
This is before he knows that. So he doesn't even fucking try.
Yeah. I mean...
He's just like, no, it could be bad.
He's like, it could be wrong.
I don't know how, but it could be bad.
But yeah, like
So, like, what would happen if Spider-Man ever needed a blood transfusion? Would he dilute himself so much that he wouldn't be Spider-Man anymore?
I mean, I don't know, man. Like, it's just at that point, it looks like he has about a week.
Yeah, like, yeah. Harry
and I'm like,
just like basically like deteriorating like a fucking zombie.
I mean, it really is like he's out of options here,
mm-hmm.
and I'm like, you know what? Just hook him up.
Yeah.
Because it's like a fate where, like, I don't see how really it can get much worse.
Well, and like the thing is, they don't do anything. They don't go to a hospital. They don't ask for any specialists.
Yeah, at no point does he.
Hey, let's go visit Reed Richards, see if he knows something.
He never seeks any kind of treatment.
None.
And another thing, he goes to Harry has inherited Oscorp, and he goes to see the board of directors or the board of old people or whatever it is, and the old people are like, as you might know, Harry, the Oscorp stock took a dramatic hit when Dr. Connors turned into a giant lizard and tried to turn everyone in New York City into 12-foot carnivorous lizards. The stocks have never really recovered. And so we're trying to sort of brush all that shit under the rug.
Yeah, fix up our image.
And so Harry's for the press. And so Harry's like, you guys really suck at your jobs, don't you? And they're like, well, and he's like, I'll tell you what, I'll keep you around for a little while as long as you shut the fuck up. Basically, right?
Hey, hot girl at the end, you're in charge now.
He's like, yeah, you were my dad's personal assistant. Are you a fuck up? And she's like, no. He's like, good, you're in charge.
Mm-hmm.
And so immediately,
although she doesn't really do anything through the course of the movie.
She's the one who knows about the secret lab.
That's it.
But she's by far the most effective person, so he was right to put her in charge.
I guess. She doesn't tell him until the very last minute, though.
She's like the butler in Spider-Man 3.
This is like need to know kind of shit.
She's like the butler in Spider-Man 3, who's like, oh, by the way, Master Harry, I saw Spider-Man who didn't kill your father.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot. Was that important?
Oh,
the spider venom. You were looking for the spider venom. You were looking for the spider. Oh, in the lab.
The secret lab.
The secret lab.
That one that I know everything about.
Oh, I should have told you about that yesterday before the old people were trying to get you removed from the board of directors. Oh, shit.
Darn. Oh.
I
had a hair appointment. You know how it is.
I should have told me. Anyway. So, yeah, but for the old people immediately are like, they get together and like, that Harry kid has to go.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, go? We have to kill him. They don't want to kill him. They want him, like, removed.
Yeah.
But he hasn't done anything.
Yeah. It's not like he's driving the company into the ground. And besides,
no.
Look at him. He'll be dead in a week.
Yeah.
What is your hurry?
And they know this. Like,
yeah, they know he's dying.
Like, he hasn't made any decisions that are going to hurt the company.
Mm-mm.
Like, he's let them keep their jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Like, really, anyone sane would have fired the lot of them, because, like, they fucked all this up. Because they're like, because, in fact, he kind of called it the task. He's like, he's like, okay, so this whole Connors thing and this whole, like, weird animal projects shit that he was doing, did none of you, like, think to declare this fucker insane and remove him from, like, take control of the company away from him before he put stocks in the toilet?
Yeah.
And they're like,
He seemed like he knew what he was doing.
the rhino thing seemed like a good idea. And they're like, well, you're stupid, so let's just, like, not do stupid shit anymore. So meet next week then? And they're like, okay. And
So then
like,
they're immediately like, this kid, we need the power back.
this fucking kid has to go. We need to put more rhino shit back in production. And I'm like, but this kid hasn't done anything yet. Like, he hasn't even made decisions to be pissed off about.
Yeah.
Like, maybe if he was like, we're getting, like Tony Stark, for instance. In Iron Man 1, he comes back and he's like, we're shutting down the weapons division. I'm done with this shit. And, like, you can see why Obadiah Stane was like, we gotta get the company away from this guy. He's fucking things up.
Yeah.
Like, I can see
If he had done that, it would have made sense. Or if he'd, like, fired some people.
Yeah.
Or said, okay, we're cutting salaries or something. Or...
Yeah. He's like, we're getting out of the rhino suit shit. And the lawyers
we're
are
making
like,
baby bottles now.
yeah. And the guys are like, we're not making rhino suits? This kid's gotta go.
Yeah, but that didn't happen. He didn't do anything.
No, he was just
and again, he's dying.
He just called them assholes and
Yeah.
left. And they're like, assholes?
Like, by the time they are there to remove him from the premises...
He's dead. He's like three-quarters dead.
Yeah, he's like falling apart.
I was like, give him 2 days. He'll be dead.
Yeah, well, you don't need to do anything. Let him die.
Ugh. So, he can't get Spider-Man's blood, and he's only read one of the files, but it never occurs to him to read the rest of them.
Apparently, yeah.
Or does he? He
looks at a couple more.
He looks at a couple more.
But he just kind of like glances at him and like pages through. He's
but
like,
there's
a suit. Oh.
But even those are insanely useful, because the next ones he looks at are the Green Goblin suit and the Green Goblin flyer, which he also uses. Because he discovers the suit has a fucking healing factor, which he uses.
Except that's not his first thought.
No.
Why isn't it? His first thought is, I need spider venom.
Yeah. Which he promptly injects like a fucking pint of.
Yeah,
but,
a lot.
But first...
It's like a whole fucking nail polish vial of spider
Oh, more
venom.
than that. It's like... Hang on. It's like this.
It is not that big.
Okay. It's like
the little one.
It's like this.
Yeah.
It's like this. It's serious.
Full of spider poison.
It's like this full of green.
Yeah,
and it's like
green spider radioactive poison.
But because it's to make it clear that it's like poison, it's like bright shock green because it's poison.
Yeah, it's radioactive poison.
It's nuclear green
with Parker genes in it.
Right. But I forgot. We captured Electro. Like, he kicks the shit out of Electro. Then we go into one of my favorite scenes in the movie.
Yeah.
This had me rolling. We go to Ravencroft?
Yeah,
Ravenscar.
Ravencroft.
Whatever. We go to Arkham.
We go to Arkham.
Where they have, for some reason, Electro in a dunk tank, strapped to a table in a dunk tank.
Yeah.
Where Hair Doctor Insano.
I said they should have just hired you to play Dr. Insano in this role. He was Dr. Insano.
Hair Doctor Insano.
Yeah.
Is for no reason like tickling him. He's just like, and now we will run experiments on you.
Like, he's got the fucking goggles, the gloves, and the lab coat,
like,
the stereotypical German accent.
He is the most stereotypical.
He's like, I am a mad scientist.
He's like, yeah. He's like,
don't you know anything about science?
Yeah. He's like, Electro's like, he's like, what are you doing to me? He's like, I am now going to implant you with military-grade transistors and implants. And we will measure your electrical transference capabilities with science.
Yes, it was like I started laughing too because it was so stupid.
And now engage the transducers. But first tickle him.
Like they're shocking him with electricity.
Yeah.
Why would that help?
Well, it's because science.
And then they put him in water. Like water somehow doesn't conduct electricity.
I don't. And the guy, even Electro's kind of pointing this out. He's like,
I'm surrounded by electricity.
He's like, first off, you're surrounding me with computers and live wires, and you're dunking me in the most conductive water. And he's like, do not question my science.
Yeah. The guy's just like, whatevs.
Whatever. I'm sure you will not escape and shove enough lightning up my ass to light up Manhattan. My comeuppance will not be sweet. He looked like a character from Beekman's World.
He did.
This is what
or a mad scientist from like a 1950s serial TV
yeah.
series. Like, or he looked like what was the evil doctor from Bible Man?
Decepto, Dr. Decepto,
who is also Insano.
Who was also Dr. Insano.
Yeah.
They really should have just called me.
Yeah, they should have.
And like, this is not a joke.
No, it was like, I couldn't tell if they were trying to play it serious or not, but it was hilarious.
No, this was
so
real.
dumb.
This was real. This was a character in a real movie.
Yeah.
We are not exaggerating.
Not even a little.
This is the character that they put forth. They put Dr. Insano in The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
In the asylum, torturing a lightning dude with electricity.
Because
that's something he would do, probably.
It was...
Science!
It was Dr. Insano.
Yeah.
But I'm sitting there going like...
And then, oddly enough, when Harry breaks him out, all he does is, like, zap him a couple times with a taser, and that makes him better.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden he's more powerful than he's ever been before. All of a sudden he can fucking...
Suddenly he can, like, transmogrify himself.
He can teleport.
Yeah.
I
can become electricity.
He becomes Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah, basically.
He has...
He can unform and reform his body from electrical particles. Suddenly.
And of course, Herr Dr. Insano decides to hang around for some reason.
Yeah. Well, he gets shocked, and then he gets back up, and he's just like...
Yeah, he's like...
I will stand here.
Yeah, and of course, because this is such a dead serious movie, when he gets shocked and he stands up the first time, he's got, like, all cartoony, like, burned cork all over his face, and his hair is all, like, fried up and gelled to one side, and he's like, oh, that was a spicy meatball. And I'm like... Oh my god! This movie is such pig shit. Mm-hmm. This is like Batman and Robin.
Yeah. I mean, short of, like, ice skating henchmen, but...
This is seriously, like, ranks right up there with the worst superhero movies I've ever seen in my life.
Worse than Green Lantern?
This is way worse. Way worse.
Wow.
Way worse.
Worse than Fantastic Four?
Which one?
Both of them?
Way worse.
Wow.
Way worse.
That hurts.
Oh yeah, worse. No doubt. Yeah.
So then...
Phew. Way worse.
He frees... Electro, and they're like, let's go get revenges! Yay, revenges!
Well, hang on, I'll tell you why. It's because I can make fun of the Fantastic Four movies. There actually is entertainment to be found in those. Mm-hmm. Pardon me. I can't make fun of this movie. This movie sucks.
Yeah, there were too many painful moments.
The romance scenes in this are death.
It wasn't made up for by the Dr. Insano cameo.
There are so many drawn-out, painful, awkward... romance scenes. They are death.
Yeah. Were they trying to get girls who don't like superhero movies to see this movie? I don't know.
I was clawing at my seat
Yeah, I
trying
really,
to stay.
I was kind of wishing I had gotten a soda just so I'd have a reason to go pee.
Yeah. Oh. Anyway, go on. Sorry.
So they go to get revenges. What
Yeah,
happens?
Harry he gets thrown out of the building because the evil old guys want him out.
Mm-hmm.
Because they want him out.
Mm-hmm.
Because they want him
Because
out.
he's just not dying fast
He's
enough.
not dying fast enough because they need him out now.
Yeah.
They can't wait 2 days.
Nope.
Because he's dying of hyper-accelerated death shit. They can't wait. Norman died when he was 65, but this guy, he dies next week.
Yeah, but
They
that's
can't-
just too long.
It's too long. They can't wait. So he needs to get back in there to get the spider venom. So he breaks Electro out and he's like, I need you to get me in there and you can kill Spider-Man if he shows up.
Yeah.
And so he's like, I trust you completely. So
Cool.
So that happens.
They do that. They do the whole thing with the guy who backtalks them. I would not sass back the dude who had just killed somebody with lightning in front of me. But...
Oh no, he's like, I will rain death upon you, motherfucker.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
So then they go down, like they resurrect him with more electricity.
Yeah.
And then they go down, and they pump him full of the venom, and of course he immediately collapses and is.
Well, hang on. They go down there, and they have the secret lab has more weapons than the fucking Bat Cave.
Yeah.
There's like everything down here. And like he could just be like, you can go now and just start playing around.
Yeah.
Like, but no, he's like, Venom, I want it now, Spider Venom. And he's like,
You do it.
Load me up, like right now.
You do it. I don't trust me with a.
There's like no reason he can't shoot himself
Inoculate.
up. He could just shoot the guy because like why not? But no, he's like, you load me up. I trust you completely, and so he
Like,
does
I
it.
trust you to not like shove it in my eyeball.
Yeah, whatever. So he shoots him up. Go on.
And then, of course, immediately he starts to get spider poisoned.
And again, this is such a stereotypical scene that they might as well have just taken the elevator and he takes it back up and he's the Green Goblin.
Mm-hmm.
It's so standard.
It's it's burning. I didn't expect this poisonous spider venom with plutonium in it to make me die or anything. So he collapses on the ground. His skin is practically melting off. His hair is suddenly weird.
His hair is much.
His hair suddenly goes weird.
His hair is much better.
He suddenly has like a fucking frizzy like ducktail.
He turns into Sting from Doom. He really does.
Only greener, yes.
He turns into Sting.
Yeah, and I don't like the spider venom did that. I guess.
I would load up with that shit if it turned me into Sting from Dune.
So and then he's like the other guy runs away because he's just like fuck this, I'm out of here, and he just gets away. Really, I don't think anything ever happens to that guy, does it?
No, he lives.
He just gets away. He's just like scot free.
He actually miraculously survives that movie.
Yeah, he's like, well, I died once today, but I'm gone.
He kind of turns into Willem Dafoe. Harry.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he kind of does. But then he's crawling towards like one of the suits. It is of course the Green Goblin suit. He gets in it and immediately it diagnoses his like fatal wounds and fixes him.
Yeah.
But then he's creepy and ugly for reasons.
He's really not though.
But not like it's like they gave him like they took like spray tan but made it green.
Yeah.
And then they made his teeth look gross and that's kind of it.
It's kind of like he fell into rubber cement. And he just kind of got it stuck to him.
Yeah.
And then, like, it's kind of like he fell into hair gel.
Yeah. Spirit gum.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, it kind of is. Like, they just kind of, like, they took spirit gum and they just kind of smeared it all over him.
And then let it dry.
And he kind of got tacky.
Yeah.
But his hair is vastly improved. Because his hair is, like, really, like, geeky and stupid.
Yeah, he's got that, like,
he's got this, like,
to the side emo
really
hair.
bad, like, 1930s part. And like now it's like really nicely like gelled back. It's really it's really kind of punk rock, but it works.
But then, of course, he automatically knows how to use the glider.
Fucking immediately.
Immediately.
He's pro.
The suit is all fun. He knows how to use the bombs. He got the bombs out of somewhere.
He knows how to use the knife. Like
yeah.
it's like instinctive. Like it's like he took the tutorials.
Yeah.
like, it's fucking amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Like how fast he took on this, and like I know it's a movie, but whatever. But like it's.
But this is like the last like 10 minutes of the movie, so like that's all the green we get. Like maybe 2 minutes of Green Goblin before.
Yeah, it really
he
is
gets punched in the face, and that's all we see of him.
Yeah, this is what I was going on about as we were walking out. It was like it seems so weird to me that the movie is centered around the Green Goblin. That's the A plot. And yet the Green Goblin is in this movie for like 3 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
In fact,
of course, again, now he's evil because he's got superpowers.
He's like,
so he grabs Gwen. He's like, ah!
And yeah, he's like, ah!
Cackling like a madman. Put her down, okay?
You know, but like, yeah, he's in the movie for like 3 minutes. Like, no exaggeration, or even understating it. But like, and it seems so weird.
He throws a couple bombs.
Yeah, he throws one bomb.
A little bit.
One bomb. And he just kind of flies around.
And gets in the way of saving Gwen. That's about it.
And that's it.
Yeah. Then he gets like punched in the face, and that's it. Where does he fall down? I don't even see what happens.
He
does he get mushed?
He wraps a web around his neck, and like a gear like breaks his neck. I think.
Okay.
We're not
like
even
that.
confirmed he's dead.
Yeah, because that's all you see him after that, and then of course Gwen Stacy's falling, and Spider-Man's busy, and then I gotta catch him. You hated this part. I hated this part too.
Oh my god!
Like, I thought he was gonna storm out of the theater at this point. Oh god.
I almost can't even bring myself to talk about it.
You have to be strong. Do it.
Gwen Stacy starts falling. And she's...
And they do this throughout the whole movie too. It's that fucking slow-mo and then fast and then slow-mo
speed ramping.
Then fast. I hate that.
It's called speed ramping.
I know, it's so overdone at this point. They did it so many times in this movie, and it didn't make anything look better or more dramatic. It just made it just showed you how bad the fight scenes were, and it made them look worse. But
so she's falling, and we've been waiting for this for 2 movies, because we all know it's coming.
Mm-hmm.
It's that inevitable scene, and so this movie thinks this is like the drum solo.
Mm-hmm.
It's like this is their Titanic.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the ship is sinking. Gwen Stacy is falling.
Mm-hmm.
So they are drawing this motherfucker out for all it's worth.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what all these fucking horrible dialogue scenes, like, we are supposed to love this woman now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's what all these horrible scenes have been leading to. Like, we are supposed to love this woman so much, this is supposed to punch us right in the gut.
I just found her kind of annoying.
Yeah, well, whatever. We are supposed to love this woman so much. This is supposed to, like, just rip our hearts out as she is falling.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't. I hate her.
But
this is the slowest slow-mo ever.
It's slower than the Dread falling scene.
I liked that one.
That one was good.
I felt more loss about her, but anyway. So, he's like, no, thwip.
Mm-hmm.
And as the web is reaching down towards Gwen, the web forms an outreaching hand.
Fucking A.
Towards her hand.
It was so bad.
And their hands, the web hand, the web forms a little hand. And it just misses her, and she hits the ground just...
That was kind of gross in a way. Like, it catches her as she bounces off the fucking ground. It's like, no, I got her. Oh, yeah, you hit the ground after all.
I almost walked.
Yeah, the fucking web hand just was awful.
I didn't know whether
like,
to... I didn't
could you be any cheesier? Could you be any more
No.
emotionally manipulative?
No.
Like...
Well, maybe if they had the little web, like, go... I didn't know whether to laugh or scream.
Like, I was waiting for, like, the Spider-Man mask to start leaking tears or something.
I honestly, it was so bad. I didn't know what to do. Because it was funny and it was offensive and it was just horrible all at the same time. I was just like, you know, it was just kind of one of those. this rage laugh.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, ah!
And then she's dead, but...
And then she's dead.
There's no indication that she's dead. There's like...
Yeah.
There's no crater in the ground. There's
Crater?
no blood.
That'd be a great
There
little
should have
bit.
been like cracked cement, or she should have like been, twisty looking.
Yeah.
Or she just looked like she was unconscious.
Yeah,
And then the only indication we get is that she doesn't wake up, and then
There's a
tiny bit of blood
little-
comes out of her nose.
It's actually kind of ambiguous.
Yeah. Like we were both saying, they should have done is like, Peter's like grabs her head and then comes away with blood.
There's
or
blood
something.
under her. I don't know if there was like if it was a low rating, like it was PG or something like that. I honestly
we can't show that much blood, maybe, but like.
In fact, even the funeral is ambiguous because we never see a headstone.
Mm-hmm.
So like, even at some point, I was wondering if like we were going to see Gwen Rock out from like behind the camera, like, and we're gonna be like, oh my God, she lived, like. It was really unclear.
I think they just couldn't show any blood or something. They didn't want the kids to be like, oh God, she's Hamburger. Which you probably would be if you fell from that far onto a cement floor.
But it was really frustrating because all he was doing was just like...
It would be like dropping a bowl of Jell-O from the roof.
He just kept going, don't leave me, don't leave me! And it just looked like she was unconscious.
Yeah.
And there was really, honestly, no
like
indication.
He doesn't check her pulse.
No.
He doesn't try to do any CPR.
No. Doesn't check her breathing. He doesn't even
pull back an eyelid.
Yeah.
Nothing. He's just like, I'll take it on faith that you're dead.
He just kind of like shakes her and is like, no, you're dead.
I'll move you and see if I hear any crackling noises and maybe...
He doesn't even do that, really.
Shake her like a water balloon, see if she makes that sound. Yeah. But then she's dead, and then they go to the funeral, and then we see him standing at her gravesite, I guess, through the, like, seasons.
I like to think he never moved from that spot.
He just sat there the whole time, wetting himself, eating grass.
Even the priorities of this movie, in terms of, like, the focus of it, I was saying, like, we see the Green Goblin for so little of this movie that it seems so strange that the A-plot of this movie is centered around the origin of the Green Goblin and his conflict with Spider-Man, that we see him for 3 minutes. Tops.
This whole fucking movie was just Peter loves Gwen.
Yeah, but my point is, like, it's centered around the Green Goblin, and yet when the Green Goblin appears, it's like the Goblin is an afterthought.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how is that possible?
Yeah, he was very much an afterthought.
It seems like the Goblin is shoehorned in, but he's the focus of the movie. I don't know how you do that. It's like... Especially, like, how do you make a prequel trilogy around Darth Vader and only have him show up at the last 2 minutes of the movie? I don't know.
Well, like, the whole thing was basically, like, the only real villain was
Electro. But, like, he's not the villain.
Yeah.
He's just...
He's the muscle.
He's not even that. He's a transitional villain. He's the muscle in the sense that, like, he's the guy the villain picks up just to keep the Spider-Man busy. He's the guy who should be defeated at the midpoint of the movie.
Yeah.
He's like, you know...
You shouldn't have been, like, at the finale.
No, and, like, he's the climactic boss fight.
Like, because the fight with Green Goblin's kind of just sad and confined.
Yeah.
Like, what you see in the trailer, that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
That's the whole fight.
But yeah, the entire fight is against Electro.
Yeah.
And it's weird.
It's not a good fight either, but it's longer.
Because him and Electro have no beef. None. There is nothing personal between him and Spider-Man, so they're fighting over nothing.
Well, it's personal to Electro because he's cray-cray,
But no, it's not personal, though, because he's crazy. So it's just like, he's crazy, and Spider-Man doesn't know what the fuck he's mad about.
Yeah.
So there is no tension there. You know, it's just...
He's just like, I'll use this trick from 8th grade science class
Yeah.
that Gwen came up with because I'm not that smart.
Yeah, which, by the way, completely undermines Peter Parker because he's supposed to be this
a genius.
He's supposed to be this genius, and he's a dumbass. Because we see him try to do science, and all he does is blow himself up.
Yep.
Oh my god, and you just reminded me of the worst, like, probably the worst part of the movie, is the fight at the power station, where Electro literally tries to kill Spider-Man with dubstep.
It wasn't... It was like Dubstep Itsy Bitsy Spider. That's what the song was. It was the Itsy Bitsy Spider.
He tries to kill Spider-Man with dubstep.
He's hitting him into things, and it's making fucking music.
And
why?
As they're beating the shit out of each other, there's these little power stations, like towers, and as they're fighting, they're
ringing like bells.
The waves, like the sound waves, like the decibels or whatever you want to call it, are like going up and down, like the sound waves, the meters on like Winamp. You know what I mean? If you were to look at the power station from the side, like the waveform, that's what it is, the waveform, the power station is reacting with each hit, like the waveform audio of the fight.
And it's making the song, the Itsy Bitsy Spider.
Yeah. So, Spider-Man is getting swung into the power station poles, and there's like the electric field is like making the waveform as the dubstep of Itsy Bitsy Spider is, and I'm just like,
yeah, that was 9 million flavors of stupid, maybe 9,000,001. And
I'm just sitting back going,
like, why would it do that? Why would you be trying to do that?
No,
how could it do that?
I'm not even asking how. This is not a question of how or realism. This is just like...
This is like someone made a stupid comment while they were watching the footage in the computer program and went, it's like we should put some music in there every time he hits one. And then they left it in.
Yeah, this is not a question of realism. This is just like... Because the actors had no part of this.
Yeah.
This is just... You're watching two cartoons beat each other up, so this is just purely the director going like, I wonder what we can animate here during the fight scene. Oh, this would be funny. What if we just had a little dubstep sequence where they're like, this would be kind of cool. This is so stupid.
Yeah. That was painfully dumb.
It is so dumb. This is really one of the dumbest things all time I have ever seen.
Yeah, he even leaned over to me. He's like, is he hitting him with dubstep?
He's hitting him with dubstep.
Which made no sense. It's not like the guy listened to music before.
Then there's Gwen Stacy, who shows up at this fight. And this is brilliant. Gwen is like... Electro has shut down the power to the city.
There's chaos. There's planes about to crash into each other.
Yes.
Because that's what happens.
Yes. So, Electro has shut down power to the city. And this has caused chaos.
No looting, though. I was expecting more looting.
We can't show everything, April. We can't show everything. But what we can show is the fact that the power is out at the hospital. Because, as we all know, hospitals have no backup generators of any kind.
Why would they?
Nor do airports.
Yeah.
Although the power is out at the hospital where Aunt May is working, and the airports, which we see. Anyway. To add a ticking clock element to the fight with Electro, we happen to see two airplanes which, in the entirety of the sky, are on a direct, head-to-head collision course with one another, which, somehow, the air traffic controllers, which having no power to their radars, somehow know are about to run into each other. Not only this, they know at exactly what time they are going to do this. They're going, in 60 seconds, these two aircraft are going to run directly into each other. They have worked this out with a pen and paper. This is also not taking into account the idea, apparently in this world, aircraft have no collision detection systems.
No radar.
Of any kind.
And they can't see out the window for some reason. Like, if all of the power in the city was out, and the only lights were another airplane, I think you'd see it. And of course, it happens last minute anyway, and they see each other and they just swerve, so, like, the ticking clock was kind of pointless.
Yeah.
It wouldn't, whether they turn the power back on or not.
The only reason it happened was because the power comes back on, and they're like, you need to turn right now! And then they're like...
See, but, like, the way they shot it, it looked like the pilot saw that already. Like, he was like, oh, wait, we're about to crash into another plane.
They're like, mm-hmm. But yeah, otherwise, without air traffic control to warn them of every single fucking thing, these pilots would just be completely shit out of luck, because...
And they, like, you know what would happen if all the power went out at an airport? You'd fly to another airport!
Yeah, if
he didn't take out the entire eastern seaboard, he just took out Manhattan.
Yeah, if you were to call an airport, if you were a pilot...
Land in Jersey!
If an airplane were to radio an airport, and air traffic control did not respond...
You would circle, say no lights, and then fly to another airport.
If there were no lights in the entire city, you would notice this, by the way. I mean, there would be an eerie lack of traffic. Mm-hmm. Like, no radio traffic coming from the airport of any kind. Mm-hmm. You'd be like, holy shit, what just happened? Mm-hmm. They would be talking to each other.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, are you getting any radio traffic from the airport? No. Are you?
What's your heading?
No. What's your heading? I don't know. I can't see anything. Mm-hmm. Maybe we should go, like, enter a holding pattern so we don't hit each other.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. Like, they would immediately radio another airport. They would radio the fucking military. Mm-hmm. And be like, hey, do you know fucking New York City has gone completely dark?
Yeah.
Maybe you should look into that. I'm going to go radio another airport. That's a good idea. Like, holy shit.
We're going to go land in Jersey.
Ah! But no, these aircraft just keep going like, hum-de-dum-de-dum, let's just keep going for the airport.
On the exact same course, don't circle or anything, because, like, the collision could only happen if neither pilot deviated from their course even slightly.
Like, I'm sure everything's fine.
Why wouldn't you? You would start circling.
Yeah, they're like, they're not answering. I'm sure the line's just busy.
I'm sure it's fine.
I'm sure they'll pick up eventually.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's just on the toilet.
So that was dumb.
So yeah, this entire thing is just to add a ticking clock element to the fight. Mm-hmm. Because we can't have a climactic supervillain fight without a ticking clock element. Mm-hmm. Without somebody to keep switching the camera to keep going like 60 seconds, 45 seconds, 30 seconds. Like, we have to keep cutting back to that. Mm-hmm. Otherwise there's no tension.
And like I said, if they had done it where like somebody was at the hospital and was in surgery, that would have been a lot more convincing. Like, we're doing open heart surgery and all the power goes out. Yeah, then you panic.
Except for the fact that hospitals have backup generators.
So do airports, I'm sure.
Yeah. So none of this makes any sense.
No, none of it does.
But, like, so... But I'm surprised they didn't do that as well. I'm surprised Aunt May wasn't in the maternity ward or an emergency room. And I'm surprised there wasn't, like, a pregnant woman giving birth at the same time.
No, here's the part that I hated of this. Okay, so Gwen Stacy's there and she's all like, I know the grid system. I memorized it, so I have to be here to help you.
This was brilliant.
So, this impossibly difficult and hard to understand grid system turns out just to be...
No, April, it's too dangerous. You can't go.
It's a control tower with a button in it that says reset.
Yeah. She's like,
she had to be there for that.
Peter, I have to go. I have to go with you.
I know this grid system.
You can't do it on your own.
I could have, actually. I could have just... I didn't even need the key. I could have just broken it with my strong, manly spider hands. No, I have to be here.
Yeah. No, it's like, Gwen, you can't go. I gotta fight Electro. It's too dangerous to go. It's like, Peter, I designed the system. I helped design the system. It's
so complex. Your feeble mind would just burst into flames if you tried to comprehend it.
Yeah, how are you going to work this system on your own? It's just like, but there's no other choice, Gwen. I have to go. And she's like, so she shows up and she's like, I have to go into that tower. I have to go reset it. And he's like, okay, go hurry. And So she goes up there and there's like literally like a big glass flippy switch.
Mm-hmm.
She flips it open and there's a big red button.
It says reset.
And I'm like...
And so basically, when the power goes out in Manhattan, it's just like when you blow a fuse in your house and you have to hit the reset button.
And she's like...
Yeah. I'm glad you were here, Gwen. We couldn't have managed this without you.
She couldn't, like... There wasn't even, like, a keyboard that she could type, like, reset.exe or something like that.
Yeah, nothing like that. It just had to be a button. A big, red, shiny, candy red button.
No, yeah. I also like how Spider-Man's webs can conduct enough electricity to power New York.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, like, it took these big fuck-off cables.
And yet, Gwen Stacy can cut through it with a pocket knife.
Yeah.
Because when she gets webbed to the car, she's just like...
Maybe disapproving Denis Leary helped. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I would like to think at the funeral that the Jedi spirits of Gwen Stacy and Denis Leary would both be like appearing at the cemetery and like shake their heads like, I told you.
Yeah. You just couldn't fucking listen, could you?
I told you. I made you promise, and did you listen? I told you. I told you. You didn't fucking listen. I told you.
You didn't fucking listen.
You didn't listen to me. Peter, I told you.
Peter.
There was a giant fucking lizard.
All you had to do was fucking listen to me.
I told you. I'm gonna see you in hell, Peter.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see you there, and I'm gonna kick your ass.
And then there's a mysterious shady guy who goes into Arkham and sees Harry.
Who's looking much better.
Who looks fine now.
He looks great.
He looks completely, well, not completely, but 90% normal. His teeth are normal again. Like before, when he was Green Goblin, they were all nasty and weird for some reason.
Although I like how they gave him
fine.
I like how they gave him a really weird mirror.
Yeah. His mirror's all like a circus mirror, distorted.
Give him a normal mirror.
We don't want him to see how good he looks, or he'll be really mad.
He's like, whoa.
He's not dying anymore, apparently, either.
No, he's fine.
He's fine.
Really, he should be grateful.
Yeah, he really came out of this pretty well. I mean, aside from being in an asylum in a straitjacket, but he's still got shadowy men working for him, so what's his problem?
I don't know why he's mad at Spider-Man, really.
Yeah. You wouldn't give me blood, but then if you had given me the blood, the venom shows that I would have killed me, so... Damn you for not giving me that blood that would have killed me.
Because honestly, the venom thing, it worked out.
Yeah. It got him to the suit, which is probably what he needed in the first place.
Yeah, because, like, he got into the suit.
And it's like, oh, you need healing. Heal! You're fine now. With magic.
The suit kind of gave him a weird face, but...
I think the poison is what gave him the weird face.
I'm sorry, the poison gave him the weird face a little bit.
But hey, then he was fine.
Not that bad.
Yeah, he still looked better than Willem Dafoe looks normally.
Yeah, I mean, like, honestly, like, you can get past this. Trust me, I've seen worse.
Yeah. And now he's hell-bent on revenge and reactivating all of the weird animal shit his dad developed.
Yeah.
So he's like, well, go break out that Russian guy from the beginning of the movie and put him in that rhino suit.
Oh, God.
It will be done.
Yeah, because he's the most reliable motherfucker we can come up with.
Yeah, because he's dependable and a good idea. We've seen what a good driver he is.
And immediately he just starts stomping down the middle of Main Street going, ah, 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 and like,
Missiles.
What was your plan, dude?
Yeah, he runs out of a bank and like there's money flying in the air and we're like...
You were hoping he had
I was hoping he had a sack with a money symbol on it.
A big dollar sign.
Yeah, a big fucking dollar sign.
I wish he did.
Yeah.
And then there's that dumbass kid who just walks out in the middle of the street in a Spider-Man costume.
In his Spider-Man pajamas, basically.
Fucking kid.
Like, I'll stop him. And, like, the mother is like, my baby! And the police are like, no, ma'am, you can't go get him, and neither can we.
Neither will we. We'll just...
He's not shooting at the kid, but we can't go get him because reasons. And then, of course, Spider-Man shows up because he got inspired by watching Gwen Stacy's high school commencement speech.
Oh, God! That was another moment I nearly...
Yeah, I almost choked on my own rage.
I was like, we heard this. We heard it once at the beginning of the movie, and he pulls out this thumb drive that says Gwen's speech. And I'm like, we're gonna have to listen to this whole fucking thing again, aren't we? And we are.
Yeah. And he's like, oh no, so inspired now. I should be Spider-Man again.
and we listen to the whole fucking thing again. And I'm like, this movie should have ended 10 minutes ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like...
It should have ended at the funeral, really.
It should have... and I'm like... she's dead, and she won't shut the fuck up. And I'm like,
So Spider-Man leaps in, and he goes to fight with Rhino, and you know that scene that's in the trailers? That's it. That's the whole fight. It ends right there.
He's very nice not to shoot them while him and the kid are talking. He's got his back to Rhino, by the way.
Yeah, he's just sitting there, and Rhino's like, I cannot shoot the missiles at them now. That would be unfair.
I will not shoot you.
This would be bad.
Yes.
Go ahead, you talk with Small Child.
I reload while you are talking to Small.
I brought the sandwich, so it's okay.
The sandwich.
The sandwich. Yeah. And that's it. And then we were waiting to see if anything happened after the credits. And then in the middle of the credits, there was like a scene from the X-Men Future Past movie.
I think the point of that scene was to like kind of tease you with all the mutants that were kind of in it. Like Toad, and there was that one that makes people throw up. I don't know which one that is. There was one that pointed and it had like a toxic symbol on his hand and it made people puke.
Yeah, I wasn't familiar with all of those.
The only one I really remember was Toad, and there's one that had like. That's all I remember.
Yeah, and of course Mystique. But why was that there? Why was that in the Spider-Man?
I don't know.
It was really right between credits.
The only thing
the universes they've never indicated that they were connected, so why was that there?
The only thing it seemed to indicate to me, and I'm virtually certain it's a false indication, is that these universes are linked.
Yeah, but there's been no indication of that. You would need something, like a newspaper that says something about mutants at some point.
No, these universes are not linked.
No.
And but that's the only implication that putting that trailer in there would lead you to believe.
Yeah.
And that cannot be the case.
So it just left us very confused.
So yeah,
and then we got disgusted and left.
Yeah,
so I don't know if there was anything after that.
But
we got mad.
But that can't be the case, right? That can't be like you're not going to see mutants show up in the Spider-Man movies.
I don't think so. But you're not even. I don't even think you're going to see like Spider-Man show up in Avengers universe.
No,
like it seems like they're keeping them separate.
No, you're never. No, you will not see Spider-Man in an Avengers movie. But like that. If you didn't know,
if they were going to link all the universes, they would have started putting stuff in already, don't you think?
Yeah, you will not see Spider-Man in one of those Avengers movies. But the only thing that if you didn't know any better, you would think that placement of that trailer would mean you would see mutants in the Spider-Man universe, right?
Or Spider-Man in the mutant universe.
One way or the other, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I really don't think you are.
Mm-mm. Like there's just been no indication of that. Like there would have had to be a throwaway line somewhere talking about mutants.
So it's really confusing.
Mm-hmm. Because like nobody would be astonished by Spider-Man if they already had mutants flying around in Manhattan.
Right. And the idea that the Avengers have no place in the Spider-Man verse. That's never going to happen.
Yeah, I mean if that was there, they would have shown the Avengers Tower.
And besides,
it's in New York.
What's remarkable about the Stark Tower with the Osborn eel thing?
Yeah.
Just the eel shit blows it out of the water.
I know, yeah. Fuck that arc reactor. We've got eels.
This is the worst movie I've seen all year.
Yeah, this was really bad. Fuck this movie. I'm very disappointed, Marvel.
This caught me off guard.
I wasn't expecting it to be this shitty.
I didn't think it'd be very good. I thought this would be on par with the first one. I simply did not like the first one.
And I did like the first one. I thought the first one was pretty okay.
This movie pissed me off. The dubstep fighting was... oh my god.
That was the breaking point?
No, I reached the breaking point a long time before that, but... There were like 3 times, and that was one of them, where I wanted to get up. Like, and the web hand and the dubstep fighting were like back to back. Like I was just like, like, oh my god.
And there you have it, our disappointed and
again
enraged Spider-Man 2.
who liked this movie?
I'm sure someone did, but...
How did you stay awake? How? Like, this was dog shit.
It wasn't an action movie. It was a romance with a little bit of action in it.
Electro was such a lame character. Like, every time Electro's on screen, I'm going like, this is not a character.
Mm-mm.
This is just this is pathetic. This is just like, this character has one note, and that is smash. He's not even like, he's not a character. He's just like...
He's a cardboard cutout.
His character is just an obsession with Spider-Man. And that's not a character.
He's nerdy. He's nerdy and obsessed with Spider-Man.
But he ceases being nerdy. Like, they forget that. Completely. Like, he's like a nerd, then he's a villain, and then he's just
then he's just like a brawler. He doesn't do anything smart anymore.
And then all he ever talks about from that point is like, Spider-Man? Spider-Man. And then, you know, Harry's like, you want Spider-Man? Yeah, I want Spider-Man. I'll get you, Spider-Man. Good. I'm gonna kill Spider-Man. And then, like, that's all he ever talks about. He's almost like Nuclear Man in Superman 4, where the only words that Nuclear Man ever says are, destroy Spider-Man. Or Superman, sorry, Spider-Man. Destroy Superman. Like, that's all he ever says is, I'm gonna kill Spider-Man. Like, that's all that's it! Like, god damn it! Like, it's just not very good. Like, it's just, he's terrible. Okay, I'm just...
We're done now. It's okay. Well, it's not okay.
Nobody warned me about this fucking movie. If I'd have been warned about this, I would have, like...
I had heard some pretty good things about it. I'm sort of shocked that it was...
So did I! I had been told good things about this movie, and I was fucking lied to. I was not ready for, like, the supposedly worst movie I'd seen this fucking year. I thought RoboCop was gonna take it this year. Jesus fucking Christ. RoboCop's up there. But...
RoboCop was bad.
Whoa!
But at least RoboCop didn't have a bunch of annoying romance scenes.
Ugh.
You can say that for it.
RoboCop, how long was RoboCop?
Not that long.
Not this long.
This was 2.5 hours.
If it wasn't 2.5 hours, I'm not sure when trailers started, but like, whoa! This movie, if it wasn't 2.5 hours long, this movie
felt like it.
It felt like it. And if this movie was 45 minutes too long.
At least, yeah.
45!
You could have done everything in that movie in 90 minutes easy.
Like, I could have taken fucking garden shears to this film and, like, cut out scenes that didn't need to be there. I could have taken that entire Oxford plot out. I could have taken half of the Electro scenes out. I could have taken half of the Harry Osborn scenes out. They just didn't need to be there.
Yeah, they weren't necessary. Well, closing thoughts.
The scenes with the Peter's parents did not need to be there.
Yeah.
That scene where he Googles Roosevelt. The montages where he makes a stalker wall about his parents.
Well, it's like one of those, like, when you see in detective movies where they put all the...
Like little ribbons?
The ribbons, the connections, the question mark. There was a fucking question mark in tape up there.
Like, he makes a question mark in tape. Like, what are you drawing ribbons between?
Yeah, he doesn't he doesn't figure anything out from this is the big thing.
Like, what are you putting lines in between? Like, what the fuck?
He figures nothing out from doing that. He doesn't figure anything out until he throws the fucking graphing calculator against the wall.
Like, he dumps out the contents of this bag, and there's, like, a graphing calculator, and, like,
papers,
a slide rule.
And then there's, like, files that he doesn't go through.
And, like, but there's nothing there. And there's, like, he's like, I've got, like, loose leaf papers, and I've got Gwen's homework from 4 years ago, and I'll nail it, and I got pictures from I'll put my yearbook up here, and then, I don't know, and he puts a question mark, and then, like, how, like, do I have to lose you too? On, like, a Post-it note. And I'm like...
On Gwen's picture, yeah.
And I'm like, none of this makes sense. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you, dude? Like,
I saw it in a detective movie once.
yeah, it's like, this is the sort of stuff that you put in a movie because this is the sort of stuff that heartbroken dudes do in movies.
Mm-hmm.
It's so cliched
Mm-hmm.
and so boring.
Mm-hmm.
And it's stuff that should have been cut. And it's stuff that it's like it's stuff that like a film school student would do in his first fucking movie. That's God damn it. This movie needed an editor. Hell, give it 2. I'll pay for a 3rd one. Fuck me, man. Who directed this?
I don't remember.
Was it
It wasn't. He was the producer. I forget who did the actual directing.
Shame on you. You know better. I would like to get this couch out of this fucking room, get the salt from the kitchen, make a pentagram in the middle of this fucking room, summon the Dark Lord Mephisto, and make a deal somehow to make this movie not happen.
I'm not breaking up with you just so that this movie doesn't happen.
Okay, it's not worth it. But this movie sucks.
Yeah.
This movie sucks hard.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I know you.
This movie hurts a lot.
I know. It'll be okay.
X-Men better not be this bad.
Yeah. If it is, I will probably be crying through that.
Okay. Say goodnight.
Bye.